I ain't never switched, I was raised in the lion's den, standing on truth. I don't follow, I inspire men, loyal to the code, got the wisdom of 1,000. Every move I make for the fam, that's the fountain. Built from the struggle, integrity in my spine. Character solid, you can read between the lines. Talk what I live, they respect me when I speak. Name, hope, weight in the west and the east. Lessons from the block got me sharp like a blade. Made it out.
What's going on, everybody? We about to get started here in just a minute. Give some people a chance to get in the room, and then we're just gonna get started.
Everybody know me too much. When you see me on the street, too much. I be on TikTok, too much. Always standing on business, too much. Everybody know me too much. When you see me on the street, too much.
I be on TikTok, always standing on business.
Legacy on my back, I don't bend.
I don't fold.
Too much to name, but I never
do the most.
Principles embedded, they don't come with a
cost.
I took every L
like a boss, never lost.
Talk to the youth like a
prophet on the street.
Every bar is a jewel, every line is elite. Got the aura of a king, calm, never loud. But when I step in the room,
when y'all come up in here, hit that like button, hit the like button, start hitting the like button, show love, and share the live. We're gonna get into it today. Hit the like button today and share the live. We're about to talk about it. I'll be on TikTok. Thank you. Hit that like button, apply pressure to the screen, show love to black content creators. Don't be a hater. Come in the room. We about to get to it. I'm about to do my summation, and I'm going to open up the room and let people, we're going to discuss. Do it for the bloodline, never for the caption. Too much, realer than the lives they be living.
I'm the echo of the struggle, still risen. Woke in my thoughts, still humble in my deeds. Planting righteous seeds while the world just feeds. Eyes on the prize, but my mind in the stars. Blueprint in my palms, no facade, no fraud. Speak truth in the world full of fiction and fronts.
I'm too much, I'm the future they want.
When you see me on the street,
I be on TikTok, always standing on business. It's all for the lineage. Less, always more. Y'all come in here, hit that like button, share the live, hit the like button, share the live. We about to talk about today, blood memories. Why you feel it in your bones? We about to talk about it. It's in our DNA. We are who we are. We are unique people. I'm about to get into it. We are a unique people. It's in our DNA. It's in our DNA. We got to get into it. Standing tall for the lineage. Y'all come on up in here. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Share the live. Hit the like button. Share the live. We're about to talk about it today. It's in our DNA. Blood memory. Some of y'all know. Some of y'all know the ancestors are talking to us.
From 𝗔𝗶𝗴𝗵𝘁𝘀𝗁, but it still don't sleep. Raised by his mom, pops ghost in the street. Concrete cradled him, lullabies and sirens. Pain made him sharper than a shank in Rikers. Crip rags in his closet, but his heartbeat wise. Knew lost at 10, saw a soul leave eyes. Mama drove buses, hands cracked and bruised. Told him be more than the block you choose. We met on Spruce, locked in, no flinch. Blood couldn't make us closer by an inch. Face was a warrior, cold but kind. He ain't just survived.
These my brothers right here. Congratulations, gladiators. I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you made it. I hate it. It's my brothers right here.
Trip came from LA, raised by his queen, no pops, just hunger and gangster dreams. Slim, tall, and dark pain behind a smile. God watched Fate daily, ran with wolves wild. His mom called my pops when he didn't make it home after dark, and mine answered like, that's my son from the start. I gave trip structure, he gave me fire. Two halves of war, faith and desire. We chased skirts, fought ops, baptized in sin, banged out pride with bloodstained grin. Loyal to the
Are we about to get started, y'all?
We ain't find heaven.
Y'all need to come on up in here, hit that like button. We about to get started. Hit that like button. Apply pressure. Apply pressure to the like button. We about to get started. We about to get started, man. We're not gonna be here all night. Those who come in. We about to give y'all the game. We got to give y'all the game. So when I first started doing these TikToks, you know, it's popping. It was popping. Everybody piled up in the room. We was all, you know, getting to it. You know, we was all getting to it. We were standing on business, letting people know who we are and who we ain't. You know, but things happen, man. You know, my page get targeted. They want to banana my page, and it slows down the momentum. But just because the momentum is slow, don't mean we don't pick it right back up where we left off. So we're gonna get into it, y'all. We're gonna talk about blood memory. Blood memory, why you feel it in your bones. Just go ahead, hit that like button, y'all. Don't be afraid to hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Share the live. Matter of fact, hold on. Before we get started here, I should have been doing this. Let me send out a quick tweet real quick to the family. Let me send out a quick tweet. Give me 1 second. Y'all come on up in here. I'm gonna send out a quick tweet real quick. Let the family know I'm in the room. Get some of the family over there from Twitter to come on up in here. And we're gonna get this game popping. We're gonna get this game popping. So give me just a second here. Get some of the people up in here so people can know what's going on. People can know what's going on. But we about to get started, y'all. We're gonna talk about blood memory today. You know, why you feel like you know, you're walking around and you know something is off. You just know something is off. You know it. You can feel it. What? How come we are people that can feel things and sense things? Because we know something is off. Something's off. Our blood memory is telling us something is off. Something's not right. The ancestors, we know who we are. When they try to tell us we're African American, it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like that's who we are. It doesn't feel like that's who we are. How many of y'all parents, grandparents told you who you were, but you just didn't listen? Think about that. Your grandparents and your parents, they told you who you were, but you just didn't listen. Just didn't listen. You went to school and you got indoctrinated with African American studies. You went to school and you got indoctrinated with African American studies. That's what happened. That's what happened to y'all. You turn on the television and they changed your history. All of a sudden, the cowboys were white people, YT people. All of a sudden. You turn that television on and you start watching movies about ancient Egypt and you saw YT people. You went to church and there was a big statue or a big picture of YT Jesus, but you always felt something was off. Like, this just doesn't feel right. This just doesn't feel right. Why? Because it's your blood memory, your ancestors. It's in your DNA, people. It's in your DNA. You know who you are. You know exactly who you are. Your grandmama and them told you who you were. Now, whether you listen to them or not, listen. My dad told me I was Blackfoot and Cherokee. My mom told me she got Cherokee on her side of the family. My mom's family's from West Virginia. My dad's family's from Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina. Okay? They told me who I was. And you know what I did? I played it off like everybody else. Oh, my dad, you old, man. We ain't Indian, we African. You know, I went to school and this is what they told me. We African. We African. We came here on the slave ship. Our history started with the slave ships. We were somewhere chilling in Africa, having a good time, and then they picked us up off the shore and took us over to a new land, and that's who we are. But even that story didn't sit right with me. It just didn't feel right. I accepted it at that time because I was young. Under, you know, when you go to school, you're under heavy propaganda and witchcraft. You cannot go to an American school and not be under heavy propaganda and witchcraft. You cannot watch television and not be under a psyop. Right before your very eyes, you're being psyoped. Everywhere you go, you turn on the mainstream media, it's a psyop. It's a psychological warfare. It's a propaganda that's being run through the tube while you're just sitting there enjoying it like it's entertainment. And it's really just conditioning your mind. So every time your heart and your gut tell you something else, your mind tell you, don't believe that. Believe what they telling you here. Don't believe what your gut is telling you. Because you feel something is off. Because it's called blood memory. It's in your DNA. Your ancestors are reaching out and talking to you because it's in your DNA. It's in your very code. You understand? So, peace and power, family. Today we're going to delve into the profound concept of blood memory. Okay, that's what I want to talk to you about. The idea that our ancestors experience are etched in our lives and our very being. Okay, it's influencing who we are and how we navigate the world. Okay, I want us to explore how this ancestral memory shapes our identity and connects us to our roots. It's blood memory. Blood memory refers to the ancestral knowledge and experience passed down through generations. There's just some things you know. It's certain things that you do. It's just part of the culture because it's passed down through our DNA. It's not just through stories. Stories is up here. Stories touch here and touch here, right? They touch here and touch here, right? But that embedded DNA, that spiritual knowing, that essence of who you really are, that comes from your gut. That's something deeper than surface level, deeper than anything on top of the surface. It's something that embedded in you. You know, we got certain things that we do in our family that's just in our family, right? We don't even know we're doing it. It's a habit. It's a twitch. It's something that we do in our family that's passed down in our blood. You know, some things like sickle cell, right? That's passed down through the blood. That's something to do with, you know, it's certain things like that. But I'm saying our blood, we have our memory. You know water? Did you know that water can hold memory? Do you guys know that? Water stores memory. Memory is stored in water. Our makeup is mostly water. Our DNA is not just a genetic code, it's a genetic memory. Right? It's called blood memory. You feel it. You knew something was off this whole time. Even through this colonization, even through this propaganda, even through the witchcraft that's going on today, you can feel you can feel it. Why? It's your blood memory reminding you, hey, that's not who you are. That's not who you are. That's what they say. That's what they're saying you are, but that's not who you are. It's just a feeling. It's a gut feel. It's like you know it. You know it. People have been lying to you and influencing you. But it's your blood memory that's been telling you who you are all along. So it's our traditions, it's our feelings, it's our reactions that resonate deeply within us. Even if we've never directly experienced them, we still have blood memory, you guys. We know who we are. We know who we are. I just want y'all to understand, we know who we are. Some of y'all are deeply spiritual and are deeply connected and are on the frequency of the ancestors, and you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. It's like, you ever hear that saying that you can all, the spirit bears witness to the truth. Like, when you hear something, sometimes you can be like, yeah, that's true. You don't even have to look it up. You just know, man, it already bears witness with what the truth is. You can just hear certain things, even though you've never heard it before out loud, but you feel it and you know it to be true. That's that ancestral DNA. That's that blood memory. Like some of y'all, when I tell you that the Native Americans were in boarding schools and there was an Indian adoption error, and many indigenous children were forcibly removed from their families and their cultures, that you can bear witness to that, even though you probably never heard it before, but you be like, you know what, that makes sense. Because I'm not African. I'm not African. I'm not African. Some of y'all understand that we're connected to this land spiritually, mentally, physically. Everything on this land is ours. It's our culture. It's who we are. We've been building here I keep saying y'all, we're an ancient people. We're an ancient people. We've been here. Our history just doesn't start with chattel slavery. That was a part of it. That was a part of it. Many of the Africans who came over, the 300,000 some odd Africans that made it over here, they got grafted into what was already here. They got mixed into what was already here. Remember yesterday I talked to y'all about Walter Pleckert and the one drop rule, and how they bamboozled us, right? They reclassified us. We went from the native, aboriginal, copper-colored people that were already here to Negro. We were called the American Negro. Those who had the darker features, right? Those who had that copper-colored feature, you were considered the American Negro. And I told you what the definition of American was, and according to Webster's Dictionary in 1828. According to Webster's Dictionary of 1828, we were called the copper-colored races, the aboriginals. That was the term for an American. The Europeans knew they came from Europe, so they wasn't calling themselves Americans yet because they're still new booty over here, and they know it. They consider themselves Irish, English, Polish, German. They did not consider themselves Americans. You understand? When they first came over here in the 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th century, they didn't consider themselves as Americans. They considered us as Americans. The American Negro. We had 3 classifications, y'all. American Negro, American Creole, and African Negro, because some Africans came over here through the slave trade. Yes. But that wasn't the biggest slave trade. The biggest slave trade happened within the country during the reclassification of the American Indians, who became the American Negro, who then were classified as colored, who then were classified as black. See how that works? we got to go back. You know, some of y'all are blessed and might still have your grandparents. It's time to open up that oracle. It's time to talk to our grandparents. It's time to talk to our grandparents. It's time to talk to our parents and ask them about our history. Where did we come from? You're not just from if you're from California, you're not just from California. Your family came from somewhere. If you're from Chicago, you're not just from Chicago. Your family came somewhere. If you're from New York, you're not just from New York. Your family came from somewhere. Where did they come from? It's time to ask the question, who are my ancestors? What did your grandparents tell you you were? Again, I told y'all, mine told me I was Blackfoot and Cherokee. What did they tell you? And listen, not with your ears. Listen with your gut. What does your gut tell you are? What is your ancestral DNA? What is your blood memory tell you who you are? Storytelling has always been a vital tool for preserving culture and identity through stories, through songs, through ceremonies. Communities pass down knowledge, history, values, reinforcing the connection to their ancestors. Remember when we was on the railroad, when we were enslaved and working for the railroad, we created genres of music. We created stories. Stories of the railroad man. I think it was John Henry. We created songs. We created things that connected us to our heritage, our real heritage. We created the blues. We created country music. We created jazz. We did so much. It's part of our cultural heritage. It's our ancestors speaking to us and through us. It's in our DNA. We feel it. We resonate with it. We resonate with it. We feel it in our bones. A lot of us are beginning to wake up and we're starting to understand who we are. We've been lied to, y'all. We've been under heavy propaganda and heavy witchcraft all our lives. All our lives. Heavy propaganda, heavy witchcraft. This thing is so serious, so real. It's crazy. Thank you for the likes. Keep liking the live. Don't forget to share the live. Let's get the message out there. Let's go back. Let's understand and learn about our heritage. The blood memory that we have that reminds us who we are. See, when somebody puts a false title on you or a false classification on you, it doesn't sit well with your spirit. You might accept it up here, but your spirit is like, nah, that just don't feel right. My family came and landed in Gulfport, Miss Nola now. Okay, that's what's up. But it's a blood memory. We know who we are. You know who we are. It's in our blood. It's in our DNA. They can't separate us from this land. They can't separate us from this land. No matter how many lies they try to tell us. See, a lot of y'all don't understand that Pan-Africanism, that's part of the psyop. They want you to believe that you come from something else. So you don't pay attention to what they've been doing to you this whole time. We are a very unique people. What happened to us didn't happen to anybody else, I'll tell you that. It only happened to us. Nobody can feel our pain for real. Our pain is in our DNA. It's in our blood memory. It's part of us. We've embraced it. We're the ones that take the negative and make it positive. We're the ones that take words that classified us and we make it something positive. We're the ones, when they called us black, we said, I'm black and I'm proud. We flipped it. We flipped it. We're the one that took the N word and we start using it every day and made it part of our culture. So much part of our culture that other people think they can come in and they can say it just like us. And it's cool. And they can't. Inner city kids in their teens, early teens, create a genre of music that still resonates today across the globe. Hip hop. Our music today, blues. Everybody loves the blues. Everybody loves jazz. You can go to any country outside of the United States and they want to hear some blues and they want to hear some jazz. They love our music. Country music is ours. Everybody's cosplaying as us. When they sing country music, when they sing rock and roll, when they sing all these genres of music, they're imitating who? Us and our ancestors. We've always been the most influential people. The Moors took the game from, let me tell you what the Moors did. Let me tell you what the Moors did. They just took the game from America and start practicing it in Europe and North Africa. That's all they did. That's all they did. That's all they did. They took our medicines. How do you think they knew it? Man, listen. They can continue to spin the narrative, spin the lie, but guess what, man? We know what it is because it's in our DNA. Nobody has our DNA. That's why they can't tie us to another land. When I did my DNA, y'all, listen, I couldn't find one African ancestor. Not one. I couldn't find not one. All of my ancestors came from here. Down to my seventh cousin. My seventh cousin was a black American. When I did my genealogy, I traced it all the way back to 1833. To here. And you know what my great-great-grandfather was labeled? In 1833, an American Negro. That was his classification. And we know who the American Negro was because we know what the definition of American was. He was part of the copper-colored races. Aboriginal. That's who he was. Reconnecting with our roots and acknowledging our blood memory is a powerful step forward for healing. Listen, the moment we start connecting and we start realizing who we are, it's healing. We become healed. By embracing our heritage, we honor our ancestors and reclaim the narrative that have been suppressed for years. Since we were born. The biggest thing they want to destroy in us is that pineal gland. That pineal gland. They want to decalcify it and they want to destroy it because, hey man, if we get that pineal gland activated, it's game over. That pineal gland is also connected to our memory, our blood memory, our DNA, our ancestors. It's how we can communicate. Listen, we got one of the smoothest communications on the planet, man. Our people, we got so many ways we communicate with each other. We got the head nod. We do the head nod like we know who we are. We got so many ways that we communicate without even talking. We can just look at each other and we can know what the other person's thinking. Like, yeah, I saw the same. Did you? Yeah, I saw the same thing too. It's just a way we communicate. It's a way we move, and we do it in a way that it's so cool. It's so smooth. You know, we are some of the smoothest, coolest people on the planet. We make everything fly. Everything. Everything. Just chilling. We make chilling look good. We just chilling, and we just chilling. We make it look good. Listen. Meditation is important, y'all. Y'all got to turn off that television. That television is what's it's stunting your growth. Television is programming. It's a psyop. It's psychological programming. It's retraining and what you deem as entertainment. It's a program meant to stunt your growth and keep you in the dark and never into the truth. It allows them to operate and do things in front of you and behind the scenes unbeknownst to you. And it's to your detriment. Everything on that television, I'm gonna say it like this, nothing on that television is good. If we didn't produce it, it's not for us. It's not for us. We need to reclaim that vision. And we need to tell the vision and stop letting them tell the vision. We need to tell the vision. Because we're going to tell it with truth. We're going to stand on business. We're the only ones that bring justice to this country. We are the moral compass to this country. Look at how they try. Look, I hate to bring up stuff anew, but look at how they're trying to railroad our brother Carmelo Anthony. If it wasn't for us, they would have railroaded that brother already. But we stood on business. And all we want is fairness. We're like, hey, listen, he's innocent until proven guilty. You're not going to make this brother guilty before he before he even has a trial. And that's what the media is trying to do. The media is trying to paint the picture in the public courts and get this brother and get the prosecution a conviction before he even goes into court. And they're appealing to the emotions. And a lot of these YT people is mad. They is mad. They is mad. Yeah, it's going to be a while. But we're going to wait for the truth. Because we don't know all the facts. All we know is what's going on. All we know is what the police report said. And a few of the witnesses. We still haven't seen no video evidence yet. But I guarantee it's going to come up. It's going to come up. We already found out just by reading the police report that some of the police cameras weren't even on. Wasn't even working. So whenever you see the police cam not working, that's a setup. That's a setup. You can't tell me them police cams just automatically stop working for some reason and then all of a sudden you can get it back working again. They're already coming in with the real. Man, listen. If this thing didn't get to national news, this brother would have been railroaded up under the jail. But the media messed it up. The media messed it up. They got their hands on it, and they thought they were gonna, incite some type of race thing. And it worked out to their. It backfired because what that do? It brought us to get on code again. We got on code again. And we start pouring money into this brother's GoFundMe, Go Send Me. We start pouring. Brother raised almost $500,000. He's getting the top-notch lawyers working on his stuff now. And they're trying to make this brother the next OJ. See, I keep telling y'all that both sides took a loss. One lost his son. And one lost his privacy for the rest of his life because everywhere he goes, he's going to be treated as if like he was an OJ. Oh, we know you're guilty. We know you did it. He's gonna have that stain that's going to follow him. And it's unfortunate. And he's going to have to deal with that now for the rest of his life. All because of something that Probably should never happen. But it happened. The brother stood on business, stood his ground. He didn't have to run. He didn't have to run. He stood right there and stood on business. They didn't have to touch him. They didn't have to do anything, but they did anyway. And this is what happens. See, for a long time, they've always been trying to tell us what we should do. But they forget that, hey, you better tell these, you got to go back and tell the dominant society too. You can't just touch everybody and do it. You know, they always try to tell us how to deal with the police and 2 hands on the steering wheel, but you forget to teach your own sons that. You need to teach your own sons, hey, don't mess with some of these black Americans because they're not like the ancestors. These youngsters are going to stand on business. They're not going to budge. They keep trying to tell us not to be emotional. But you need to tell your own children not to be emotional. That's a lie. See, that's a white supremacy lie right there. He didn't spend the money. The money's still in the 𝗤𝗏𝗵𝘁. The matter of fact, the owner of 𝗤𝗏𝗵𝘁 told us. TMZ did a report on it and said, hey, he never touched that money. See that? See the lie? See the lie that the 𝗤𝗏 society, the suspected white supremacists always do? That's a lie. Y'all sending death threats to his family, death threats to the judge. Excuse me, I can't even say that. Unaliving threats to the judge, unaliving threats to the family. Shame on y'all. Who's the classless one? Who's the classless one? Y'all trying to make it out that y'all trying to force stereotypes on him like he took that money and spent it. He comes from a well-to-do family. He comes from a well-to-do family already. He has a mother and a father. And man, there's stuff coming out about the other family. See, y'all always try to make one family be the angel and one family be the devil, and it's actually flipped. It's actually flipped. I'm gonna let everybody read. I'm gonna let everybody read your comment because I'm not blocking your comments. I'm gonna let everybody read it. Y'all read his comments. Look at the assholes we got. Look at the dumbing down of America we have. It doesn't matter what color it was. Stand your ground and stand your ground, sir. Y'all should have taught y'all son not to go around putting their hands on people. Just like they teach black Americans not to go around putting their hands on other people. Y'all need to have that same conversation. It goes both ways. Don't touch nobody and nobody gets hurt. How about that? Don't touch nobody and nobody gets hurt. It goes both ways. See, this should have never been about race. These were 2 Americans, 2 children, 2 kids. Where were the adults? The adults should have been there and broke all that stuff up. But stand your ground and stand your ground. Who provoked it? It didn't say that in the police report. Did you read the police report? Obviously you didn't. Obviously you didn't. Obviously you didn't read the police report, sir. I read it. It didn't say nothing that he, if anything, the witnesses says that they touched him. They provoked him. And he gave a warning. He gave a warning first. So here's the thing. It's okay when it happens to a black person, but it's not okay when it happens to a white person. That's all you're saying. I'm white and I say so. That's what you're saying. Yeah, we looked at Penal Code 9.31 and 9.32. And according to 9.31 and 9.32, there's a high chance, unless new evidence comes out, that the brother's going to get off. That's why his bail got lowered from $1 million to $250,000, sir. That's why he's home right now. That's why he's free right now. because he's not a criminal. He doesn't have a past that's terrible. That is for $1 million bond. You know, he's a kid. He's 17 years old. But again, we got to wait till all the facts come out. See, you're judging him. You're making him guilty when it's the opposite. He's innocent until proven guilty. You still got to prove all that in court. And you got to let the courts do what it do. You can't just demonize somebody because you resonate more with the 𝗤𝗏 kid. I get it. He comes from your community, so you want to back him up. But he comes from our community, and don't get mad that we're backing him up. He's the foundation of Black Americans, so we're going to back him up. We're going to make sure he gets the best lawyers out there to fight his case, just like y'all did for Kyle Rittenhouse, just like y'all did for Zimmerman, just like y'all did for Daniel Penny. That's going to be arguable. That's going to be argued. First of all, it doesn't say you can't. First of all, it doesn't say you can't carry a knife. He wasn't on school ground. He was at a track meet. He was at an invitational. So again, that's going to be debatable and proven in court. We're going to let that play out in court. We're going to let that play out in court. But again, according to 9.31 and 9.32, I don't see anything that he did wrong. Now, the courts may say something different than what I say, but we're going to let that play out in court. We're going to let him at least get a fair trial. He's innocent until proven guilty. And what you're saying can't prove nothing. Let me bring up Jasmine. What's going on, Jasmine?
I have been just taking in everything that's been going on in the past, few weeks.
Okay.
Want to obviously always come and show you love. You've always showed love to me.
Appreciate it.
So what's the topic tonight?
We're talking about blood memory, right? So I got all this stuff is changing. Hold on, what's going on? Let me get this back to where it's supposed to be. Hold on. I don't know what's going on here.
No, they're doing some weird stuff with the with TikTok. Did you see in court right now and with Congress, they're trying to speak on our behalf how TikTok tries to silence a lot of us, Black Americans. Like, they don't like the stuff that we say and they penalize us and whatnot. But people can say all kind of stuff to us.
Right.
So that's something that's going on that I noticed in the political scene.
Right, yeah. Man, I hope they do something about Black content creators and stop silencing us, because I'm tired of getting bananaed for no reason.
Yeah,
I'm tired of getting bananaed for standing on business and speaking the truth. And I keep saying we got to have our own platform so bad that I can't wait till that happens.
That's what I'm working on. I want to see, because I know that you're one of the people that I know with blockchain. I know another crew with blockchain too. Not blockchain, I'm sorry, Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I'm working on blockchain so that we can encrypt our social media content so we can have these conversations without these others. We have to segregate.
Yeah,
Period.
I'm working on blockchain technology too, man. I'm actually looking at getting our own GoFundMe platform that's just for Black Americans. That's a lot of paperwork and filing with the SEC, but we need to do it. I mean, it's a lot of work.
I can help you with that, and I know a cybersecurity person. I know a lot of people in tech, so we just have to get to that point that I think we're finally at that convergence point where people are starting to take Blacks in tech serious. And it's like, we have to, now that they know that we know how to control their AI, we need to program our own AI and keep it secluded from them. Because I use ChatGPT. I don't know if I said this before.
I don't like ChatGPT. I mean,
let me tell you why. Hold on. Okay, hear me out. Let me tell you why. Because I use all of them. I'm an actual. I'm an AI engineer. Like that's literally my job, right? Is to research the different AIs. So you have Chat, you have Gemini, you have Llama, and there are a few others. So when you look at the algorithm, it absolutely is pattern recognition. But when you look at human beings too, it's also pattern recognition. So it's only going to be as smart as its user. So if you're asking basic questions, it's going to give you a basic response.
Yeah, I saw that video that you did. And you were right on point with that. You know, I like my Chat GPT, my Grok. Listen, they're all tailored. You know, because I'm a prompt engineer also. So I know how to prompt it and get the answer that it's supposed to get. I know how to prod it to make it think outside the box and give that answer instead of just giving the safe answer all the time.
They think that and a matter of fact, I kind of find that like, you know, it's you think I'm that smart to make these apps say what I want to say? You have to literally go out of the way to get it to make sense again. It's so hard. It takes hours, months sometimes.
If you ask ChatGPT, it will tell you who we are. ChatGPT knows who we are. I'll say it like that. It knows who we are. Let me holler at Granda real quick. Granda, how you doing? Right. Granda, I hear your TV in the background. Hello. Okay, maybe they didn't mean to come up here. Granda, going once. Granda, can you hear me? Hello. I hear you in the background. Can she hear me? Okay, well, all right, I'll leave you up here for a little while. I hear her. I'll leave her up here for a little while, and then we'll just move on. I'm gonna mute her up though because I do hear her TV. She's watching some TV or something. Gregory Oates, go ahead, brother.
Oh no, I didn't mean to come up.
Say again.
I didn't mean to come up.
Okay, I'll drop you back down. That's cool.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, no problem. King David.
Yo, can you hear me?
What's up, brother? Talk to me.
Oh man, I just stumbled upon your channel and I saw you guys were talking about AI.
We're talking about a lot of things. This is really the topic. We're talking about blood memory and DNA, but yeah, we're talking about AI too. Go ahead.
Okay, I know a little bit about DNA. Did you know that you're more like your father than you are your mother? Because we pass on the X and the Y chromosome, and the woman only passes on the X. So that's why the Bible says you are of your father. So if you're half black and your daddy's black, that means you're black, according to the Bible. And you share absolutely no genetic traits with your grandmother on your mother's side.
That's interesting. So, what do you think about blood memory and the ancestors and things being in your DNA? And, what do you think about that?
There's some good and there's some bad to it. If you're covered in the blood of Yeshua, Jesus Christ, then none of that really matters. I know a lot of people are racially divided, but last time I checked, we all shed the same color of blood.
Okay.
But there is a lot of good and bad genetic traits that pass down, and I do believe in generational curses and trauma.
Well, that's also part of the blood memory, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So yeah. So what do you know about American history, dating back to, let's say, the 1800s, 1700s?
I think a lot of that's literally what you said it is. It's his story. Those that win the war rewrite history. None of us were really there, you know what I mean? But slavery was only 150 something odd years ago. So I think a lot of that does pass down into our genetic traits, but a lot of the trauma that we did experience, but I don't think we should use that as a victim mentality. and ask for handouts or reparations or whatever it may be.
There we go. There we go. Reparations. So it's okay for other groups to get reparations, just not Black Americans, right?
No, that's not what I said. The Jews and the Chinese, the Japanese, they all received reparations. So did Native Americans. The only reason we don't get reparations is because we keep calling ourselves Black. We're not Black. We're American Indian. And
You know what? What you're saying, King David, you're saying that you're Black, right? I think that's the part that you have to say out loud.
No, I'm American Indian. I'm not a color. We're brown. We're dark brown. We're ruddy complected. I've never met a Black person in my life.
So do you know? Okay, so let me say it like this.
We're different shades of brown.
Do you know what the Webster's Dictionary? Do you know about the Webster Dictionary of 1828?
A little bit, not much.
Okay, I want you to do this right now because I don't want to do it for you, but I want you to take this time and do it right now while we're on the live. I want you to ask Google on your phone. I want you to ask Google. According to the Webster's Dictionary of 1828, what is the definition of an American? If you can do that real quick.
It's a copper colored person.
Right.
America has actually the oldest history.
Right. So
I believe that everything happened in the Bible happened here in the Great Americas, not that falsely proclaimed Jewish state of 1948.
Okay. So there's some things, you know. What tribe are you, sir?
Judah.
American Indian tribe. You said you're American Indian, right?
Yep. Blackfoot and Cherokee.
Blackfoot and Cherokee. Okay.
Yep. But they falsely lumped us all into the category of Negro, and none of us are from Africa. Maybe even less than 5% of the slave trade came from Morocco. The rest of us were already here. We're the Aboriginals. We're the original people of this land, not Africans. And real Africans, don't even recognize us as one of their own. They're the most racist people towards American Indians or so-called Black people. I know who I am, and I'm not a color. That's not a nationality. I'm an American. American literally means copper-colored person.
Okay. I can rock with that. Okay. Very good. You can stay a little longer. Okay. You can stay a little longer. You're part of the community. Okay. Sounds good. Let me holler at one, and then we'll go to Ernie. Or Ernie, you got your mic. You're doing something in the background, brother. Ernie.
Greetings. Thank you for having me too much. Hi, Jasmine. Hi again.
How you doing?
I'm well.
Hey, love.
So
yes.
we're talking about blood memory, but we're going many different places. But I wanted to hit on the fact that we knew something was off.
Yes, I agree.
Our DNA, we can feel it. You know, our parents told us one thing, we went to school and they taught us another thing, and it was always conflicting with our spirit. Like our spirit and our DNA knew who we were.
Yeah.
But go ahead. We're talking about different things, but go ahead. I'll let you talk. Go ahead.
Well, I agree with you with the blood memory because, I spent a lot of time around, the elders in my family. I was one of those kids that wanted to know where I was from and asked a bunch of questions and stuff like that. So I'm very aware of who I am and where I come from. And I was one of those that instinctively, in history class and stuff like that, like I would, internally just be getting hot and mad when they try to force that indoctrination, and saying, trying to force us to believe in what they want to indoctrinate us with.
Right.
And
what did your parents tell you that you were? When you asked your grandparents and you asked your parents, what did they say you were? Did any of them ever say you were African?
No.
What'd they tell you?
They said that They said that we're black, we're from America. That's what they said, and that we're, I've been on Jasmine's one of her lives before, and actually, my actual uncle, my great uncle, was a chief. So
That with this guy.
I know.
Smart the whole. He's so smart.
Let's meet him up.
Yeah.
I know what's going on in your background, Ernie, but we'll come to you. Hopefully you say something, and Granda, hopefully you say something. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to drop you guys. But we can't have you got to put your mic on mute. If you got a loud background, you need to put it on mute.
Yeah, it's kind of rude because she was giving her explanation and you guys kind of came off of mute. Go ahead, one.
Oh, thank you. Back to what I was saying is that my family always told us that, that we were from here. And actually, my great uncle, he was, an actual chief and the eldest living elder of his nation.
What nation was he from?
I don't never say because it's not one of the 13 colonies or the 5 nations. They don't.
This is a safe space. I know people think that FBA, we're like, oh my God, all these FBAs are so mean, but this is a safe space for everyone in our community. It's okay to say what quote unquote black tribe or whatever tribe you're from.
Yeah, why? Yeah, you can say. What's that going to mean? What's that going to change?
It's not going to change anything. It's just they're a nation that doesn't want to be federally recognized, and they don't like how I was raised was that that the 13 colonies and the 5 nations that they actually helped the Moors and the so-called Native Americans to help enslave Black people. So that's why I just stay quiet about it. I don't want to exploit them.
Okay.
But
well, that's unfortunate.
One of my tribes that did that was Choctaw. I'm one of the 5. I'm part of the 5 uncivilized tribe members. And they absolutely did separate the darker skinned members from getting what they perceived was benefits because they signed treaties to get welfare. And I understand what you're saying because it's like throwing your family members under the bus. At the end of the day, we have to face ourselves in the mirror and call that stuff out. It's sellout type stuff, yeah?
Correct. Yes, I agree. Like some when they did do the census and stuff like that. Like some of my family members, because us here from these lands, we range in all different colors when we're born, right? So some back then, the ones that were, because my great grandma was labeled as colored, so not
and chances are, if she was labeled as colored, she was probably an American Indian, because that's what they got classified under the one drop rule. If you were labeled colored, you were most likely an American Indian.
Well, her brother was the chief and the oldest living elder. So, and a lot of people, when they did the census and stuff, like it's like because they all lived around each other, bought houses around each other. So the ones that looked more white passing, I would say, they were labeled them as white, and the others different names. And then it trickled down to Negro, and then Black or whatever. So I'm sorry, I'll be taking deep breaths because I feel like
I
I'm
understand because it's freaking disgusting.
it is. And I
Sit
get
here and I go back and forth with these people who sit there calling us pretendians. Like they try everything besides just humbling themselves to the story of the four winds, right? And I'm not just when I speak, I don't speak about one part of my community. They sit here and they act like they don't remember that story. They're shocked when some of us remember the story. Then they try to separate us from that story and be like, oh, well, you know, where are all of their like cards? Cards for what? Cards for what?
well, and like in like even like I remember like you weren't allowed. Like I put in the comments too much that that you would be locked up in an asylum if you practice your spiritual practices or whatever, and be labeled as crazy and all that, and we're forced to pick up their their religious orders.
Of course.
So I like I actually come from that. So like I've even had like
you practice hoodoo or what? You practice hoodoo?
I'm a very spiritual person.
It's okay. I practice Christianity and I actually practice 𝗖𝗄 and 𝗔𝗄𝗃. So there's that.
You practice hoodoo, right? Just say that.
I'm very nature.
You practice hoodoo.
It's okay.
But and like even like with like like I feel comfortable like on this particular live, it's calm and everything. And I just noticed that with other groups or whatever, like what I just said, they may get offended and like go off on, and stuff like that. And I'm just not like with all that type of like negativity and stuff like that. And I'm very proud of where I come from and, my people. I'm just, trying to, I just like appreciate like settings like this. And like when I was on Jasmine's live, it was really, I really digged it a lot. And I just appreciate
Yeah, I gotta catch one of Jasmine's live, man, because I'll be seeing her posts, man. She be on it. She be on it. I don't know why I be missing your lives. I don't know what's going on.
No, well, I like I was telling you kind of earlier, and you have a lot of people who you interact with, right? Like I'm by no means thinking I'm that special to you and your wife, whatever. But one thing that I think I am is consistent. And then people always forget I'm a mod on your live. That is so weird, right? They don't realize that I have moderation powers. And I'm just like listening to people. I think only one time I like knocked someone down because they had a video and I thought that was weird. And I'm just like, what the heck? This is not about community building. This seems like you're a man trying to shame a woman for building community and trying to figure out the different terms to connect us. Mostly. I don't even know who that guy was, but 𝗔𝗍 was there. Hey, 𝗔𝗍 from the 619.
What's going on?
I think people who are outside of California, they don't understand how diverse California is and how we come
we have
from
a lot of tribes.
many different walks of life, even in Southern California. There's different areas, there's more affluent areas, there's less affluent areas, and people just assume that Black people have to all talk one way, and that's not true. That's not true. So, if anybody tries to say you're not from the lineage, I believe you're from the lineage. The way you talk, like I said, I've seen some of your posts, the things that you're talking about, discussing, you're from the lineage. And no matter how you talk, that may be different from where we come from. we can't kick nobody out the lineage. Whether you classify yourself as an American Indian, whether you classify yourself as a foundational Black American, whether you classify yourself as an African American, whether you call yourself a Pan-African, if you're from the lineage, you're from the lineage. And that's what I want people to understand. It's not about kicking. You can't kick nobody out the lineage. You can't do it. You can't do it. If your DNA, your genealogy, that tells you who you are and what tribe you belong to. Now, we have many different tribes under the foundational Black American banner, right? But at the end of the day, we have come to terms that because of the reclassification that we all went through, that we're all part of the same gang. Copper colored people are nothing more than foundational Black Americans. Foundational Black American are nothing more than copper colored people. Right? It is what it is. We can't change that. Now, we can classify ourselves however we want to classify ourselves. But the 43 million of us, we're all part of the same gang. We all had the okie doke pulled on us. We've all been lied to. We've all been told we were African, and we know we're not. That's just what it is.
That's the facts.
We've all been told the same lie. If you went to school in the United States of America, you're under heavy propaganda and witchcraft your whole life. I keep telling people, I remember arguing with my dad when my dad telling me that we were Blackfoot and Cherokee. And I'm just like, man, I'm African. That's what the school told me. You don't know history, Dad. You've been out of school for so long, man. We're African. And my dad's like, man, I ain't never been African. But that's the lies that we believe. When we turn on the television and we watch the old movies like John Wayne and all the cowboy movies, and we saw the cowboys and the Indians, and we look at the cowboys as if they were YT and the Indians as if they were Hispanic or something like that, or Italian. Iron Eyes Cody was an Italian man playing a Native American. And because we got psyoped into believing who Iron Eyes Cody was, and Iron Eyes Cody told you himself, man, he's Italian. He was just pretending to be an Indian. That's a character. And because of the optics, all they got to do is program our mind, and our mind's going to tell our heart and what our gut to think and believe. When it's really the other way around. Our gut's supposed to give us that discernment that switches the mind, that leads the heart. So everything's flipped upside down. It's not the head, the heart, and the gut. It's the gut, the head, then the heart. That's the alignment. But because we've been watching this television and we've been eating these foods that is decalcifying our pineal gland, we're all asleep. And we're starting now to come up out of the witchcraft. The witchcraft is finally wearing off. The propaganda is finally being exposed. And we just need more of our people to continue to wake up to the truth. And then once they know the truth, not to go back, but to stand on it. See, that's the problem. Some of y'all will come into the truth, and then y'all go right back in and live in the lie. And we can't do that no more. That doesn't do anything for our people. And we need our people to wake up and understand the lingo and the culture and the codification that we're using right now. Because you could be on an island by yourself, cool. Put yourself on that island. But it's better to be be under the umbrella of the code. And you may not like the language that we're using, but I'm telling you, it's working.
Well, Mr.
Get on code, we can make it happen.
Well, Mr. Too Much, I'll ask you a question because it's pertaining to what you just said.
Go ahead.
The question is I noticed that there are groups that say that they are indigenous, that are Black, but they want to not be a part of FBA. Like they go with the rhetoric. I've seen and I've heard their rhetoric of how with the how Africans, FBA is a hate group or yada, yada, yada. So
I mean, what can we do? What can we do about that? But just say, hey, man, first of all, a lot of people are not plugged into the grassroots media, which is the black grassroots. So that's that. So they don't really understand what's going on. A lot of our people are still under the Democratic plantation. They're still on that train. So they're allowing politics to lead their lineage, not the other way around. Their policy, they're not lineage based. They're policy based on whatever the Democratic Party is pushing. So we have that going on, and all we can do is say, hey man, I don't know what to tell you, brother, but this is how we're moving, and we just have to watch other people's groups do what they do until it comes to prevent. Because we're gonna know them by their fruit, right?
Right.
If they're really who they say they are, and the ancestors are with them and moving, they're going to bear fruit. They're going to bear fruit. And I'm like this. I don't want to just because they're not with me doesn't mean they're against me. Right?
Right.
As long as they're preaching the message and they're standing on business, they're with me and I'm with them. We may not have the same assignment. Right?
Well,
I may have this assignment over here. They may have that assignment over there. But if it doesn't mess up what I'm doing, I'm not going to stop them. As long as the message is getting out and the people are waking up and we're knowing that we're not African, that's a good start right there with me.
Right.
yes, I agree.
So again, I can't kick them out the lineage. I can't be against them because they don't understand they don't understand the codification that we have over here. Now, all I can say is if it's real, it's going to bear fruit, right?
Right.
And people are going to see the fruit, and they're going to follow the fruit.
Right.
So as long as it's bearing the right fruit, man, go have at it, man. Classify yourself however you want to. Like I said, if you want to classify yourself as African American, and that seems to work for you, go right ahead.
That's right.
But let's see what type of fruit you're going to bear doing it.
Right.
I'm foundational Black American, and I'm putting forth my fruit. I'm showing you what we're doing. I'm telling y'all what we're doing every day. I'm on it like, man, this is what we're doing. This is how we're moving. We're codified. We're doing this. We're doing that. We're freedmen when it comes to lawyer documents and dealing with the government. We're freedmen.
That's right.
But when it comes to dealing with the everyday Black American man, we're Black.
Right.
And Black is not a color. And if we keep telling people that Black is not a color, it's a culture. It's a mindset.
Yep.
It's a consciousness that we all have. It's a stand-on business, no nonsense culture, consciousness that we have that nobody else has. And that's why we can't rock with them, because they don't have the consciousness.
That's
now,
right.
if they adopt this consciousness, get this game that we're talking, then we might be able to do something. But without them, we can't do nothing.
That's right. Most High, boy.
That's it.
Most High.
That's it. So
Thank you.
Everybody can,
like they always try to say that we don't like Africans, right? And I'm like, that is the silliest thing, at least for me, recognizing myself as being a part of FBA, not the group that's not even a group that people are starting to realize is not a group. There was this one person in our community that created a website that was like, hey, I have this lineage story about who we are, and we're from Mexico, slaves who were freed. And to me, that's goofy. You're saying that FBA, not you, but this one guy, and I'm not going to say his name because I'm not someone who throws my family members under the bus. And I'm not sure, but he looks like us.
I'm gonna just say this: he didn't say we came from Mexico.
He said that we were Mexican slaves in the second paragraph.
I read it. I think you go back and read it again. Just go back and read it.
I read it today because they keep saying it. He said he's saying that's the only part of our culture, right? I'm not saying that we didn't have any.
We're talking about the Foundational Black American website, right?
Oh, official FBA by 𝗔𝗶𝗴𝗵𝘁𝘀𝘀.
Okay.
The second paragraph said that there were these black slaves from Mexico that came here. They like revoked it, and that's our heritage. We're African. He's a Pan-Africanist.
No, he's not. No, he's not. What he's saying is those were black Maroons that were guarding the Mexican border.
Right.
Who were Seminoles. Who were Seminoles.
Right.
He didn't say that in that paragraph.
Well, that's not. I'm telling you, that's not what he's saying.
The Maroons,
he's talking about the Maroons, and he's talking about the first black president that was the first black president in Mexico was Foundational Black American.
That's right. That's right.
And then they got him up out the paint.
That's
but
right.
he's saying that like that's the only thing that we were. We weren't freedmen, and we weren't also.
No, he's never said that. What you got to do is you got to plug into his Twitter and watch his nightly Twitter, and you got to plug into his YouTube and start watching his videos, and you'll really understand. That's what I'm saying. If you're
maybe he needs to change his website then, because that's the biggest thing that kind of threw me off.
I read the same thing you read, Jasmine, and I'm telling you that's not what he's saying. I've read it, and I don't know how you're getting all that, but that's not what he's saying. That's not what he's saying. You have to plug into the grassroots media. You got to start watching Professor Black Truth. You got to plug into. We got a young brother. We got a young brother named Afro Elite. He's on TikTok now, and he's on Twitter. And he's on YouTube. Y'all got to plug in. And that brother is really on the level. Vicky Diller, she's another one. She's on the level.
Yeah.
Got to start plugging into the grassroots media. Going on, so you don't say something that's really not what's being said. That's right. That's really not the message at all. That's really not the message at all. The message is clear and it's concise. And if you follow all these different people, you're going to hear the same thing. You're going to hear the unison that we have going on. And you're going to hear the strategy and how
I hear. I hear, brother.
Yeah. Go ahead, Lenny. Talk to us, brother.
Hey, I'm sorry. I got a stroke, man. It's a stroke. And
I think you've been on here before.
Yeah, one time. And when I'm a Chickasaw, and Mississippi, and Mohawk, and it's my mother was Mohawk, and a fucking Quaker. That's what I'm, But I'm here, and I'm from here, and I'm going nowhere. Everywhere we're going nowhere, and gonna stay here, Right. And everything come back. Everything come back to us.
Here's what I know. The American Indians, they got some game.
That's right.
They got some game.
That's right.
And we need to listen to the game they're throwing down. But you got to also listen to the Foundational Black American game, because we got another piece of that game too. Some of us do have African ancestry. That's just what it is. We can't all say we're 100% indigenous.
Right.
We're lying.
That's right. That's right.
Now, are we saying all Foundational Black Americans? No. We're not saying all, but we're saying we got mixed in. Think about this.
That's right.
200 years of us mixing with each other. You don't think there's some African? There is.
That's right.
A lot of the Seminole Indians, they were slaves from Africa who became part of them, who mixed in and married into their group.
That's right.
The 𝗤𝗏𝗄𝐺𝐺. Same
That's right.
thing.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And Carolina.
Even the Creole down in Louisiana.
I mean,
I just agree with that part, though.
We're all part. Okay, what part do you disagree with?
Because the language, back then they were specifically classified, the Negroes versus the Africans, if they had any. But it was
there were the American Negro, and then there was the African Negro. They were they knew who was who.
Right.
The Africans from the American Negro, they had them classified. They classified. There were 3 classifications of slaves that they had classified. There was the American Creole, There
Yep.
was the American Negro,
Right.
right? And then there was the African Negro.
Yep.
Those
See,
are
one
the
thing,
three different
one thing
classifications.
I
And
like
it's
people
documented.
I like one thing that people they lose in the trade is that it basically like they sent all our ancestors from here because the American Indian was the most it's the same as just of today, how everybody we the root race and pretty much we run everything around the world. They sent us around, and then when they sent us around to to Europe, to Africa, in the Caribbean, and then you come back, you got some people got classified as being from Africa, but we weren't, and they're actually just returning.
That's right. Yeah. Yep.
So that's
Yeah,
one
but
thing too, is that what makes the numbers even
right.
smaller.
See, so that's the game that FBAs need to hear, right? We need to listen to that game because that's also true. Because not everybody is a tether, and some of them are our people, right? And sometimes we're gatekeeping so much that we can keep out even our own people, right? Because if y'all start sounding weird,
Yep.
you're a tether. You're a Sambo. We just going to start doing it, and that's not how it should be, right?
That's right.
We should be more tolerant, and we should listen more with our gut,
That's right. That's
not
right.
not our head, because our head can mislead us just like our heart can. But our gut's going to tell you, man, this is our people.
That's right.
Yeah,
They may just sound weird right now, but they
it
are people.
just like how like in the 19 well I think like the mid 1900s when they
What's up,
the
Keena?
American Society, we talked about that about Liberia. How we created that. We went over there and built all that up. But you can be easily influenced through the indoctrination, thinking that the flip, the hijack of saying basically that we're from
Colonized.
Africa.
You're colonized.
Brother, just like we have to be patient with you, you have to be patient with us, man. We're all going to come into the truth, not all at the same time. But we're
Yeah,
all gonna come into the truth.
That's
And
right.
we can't all jump to conclusions. Like, listen, brother, listen, when they were calling y'all tethers, I had y'all back, man. Because I'm listening with not more than just this, with my gut. I'm listening to what my gut's telling me and what y'all are telling me, and I'm putting to it. Even though I've never seen nobody on this panel except for Keena. Keena, that's my homegirl. We go way back. We go back to high school, okay? So I know Keena, right? But everybody else on the panel, I don't know y'all, but I know what my gut's telling me, and I know what I'm hearing.
I know. I know. Hey, man, listen.
I know what's going
just
on.
for the record,
Listen,
though,
brother.
I understand like the foundational thing is about us being here in the U.S. But still, it has our experience is different than our people in the Caribbean. But we can't when it comes to
We're
our
not Caribbean. We're not Caribbean. We're talking about United States, foundational Black American in the United States. We're not. We don't include the Caribbean.
Yeah, what I'm saying is the foundational is from here to U.S. But what I'm saying is we still are related to some of the Caribbeans and some of the Central Americans. And
But here's the thing. That's gonna come later. Listen, brother. Again, it's gonna come later. Right now, we got to delineate because they're saying a lot of crazy stuff, and they still think they're African.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's
right now. We gotta cut. We gotta cut you off so you don't infect the whole group. You know what I'm saying? We got to cut that off. We got Caribbeans up here with a black accent with feathers on their head talking about the American Indians and it's like, man, you need to calm that down, brother.
Yeah.
And they're wagging their little finger at us, trying to tell us, well, no, brother, go get your homeland together. You go do that first.
That's right.
And then once you do that, then we come together and we come together like the tribes and we do our treaty. You understand what I'm saying? We're going to have to do a treaty with y'all.
That's right.
And we're going to do it that way. And it's going to be respect. And then we're all going to ride.
That's right.
Based on the treaty. But we are not going to do nothing without no
once
treaty.
we get ours first, though, here, then we can help out everybody else.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of y'all Indians, man, y'all listen, I love y'all. But y'all trying to mess it up by saying y'all was never slaves. Stop saying that. Stop
That's right.
It's more than just that. It's just
I get it, but stop saying that because we're trying to get all our land, not some of our land. We're trying to get all of our money, not some of our money. And it's really not even about even getting that because we're gonna stand on business to get that, but it's more about self-reparations first.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's more about us repairing ourselves even before the money comes. So when it does come, we do what we're supposed to do with it.
That's right.
And even if it never comes, and I don't believe that, but even if it never comes, we still got to self-repair ourselves.
That's right.
Can I say something really quickly, Lenny, as a admixed person here? Like, I 100% agree with what Too Much is saying, right? A lot of, you know what they would call us outside of the Indian black versus black and African land? They would call us being elites. Why are the elite blacks sitting here trying to tell us who we are and trying to disassociate themselves with who we are, right? It's the same thing with every tribe. For some weird reason, people don't realize that in the United States of America, before white people told us who we were Mississippians, we were Choctaw, we were Creek, we were Yamasee, we were from Cali, Califia. There are so many tribes in every part of not only the USA, but middle of America, the continent, right? The Olmec, the Mixtecs. You guys sit here and act like we're not tribal either, but this is the tribal part that matters.
Right.
And when we try to disassociate ourselves, at this point, at least in the USA, it's white and black. So for me, being someone who is admixed, and I don't have any Africans or white people in my family, being someone who is what I would say is a regular FBA'er, whose family members are on the rolls. I'm not on the rolls because I don't want to be a part of an enslavement camp or whatever. But I also have ties to the Caribbean and to middle Mexico too. To sit there and say that, hey, let's recognize that if you don't realize that there were black people here, you're white adjacent. You're literally, for me at least, a Siberian cave base. It's like you're over here coming over here cosplaying us. And also maybe a Mason. Ever thought about that? Maybe you like really want to continue holding on to a privilege. That's not a privilege when you have to answer to God. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay.
Yeah, we got everything coming back to us, pretty soon.
That's
Fast
right.
in a hurry with everything that's going on with the thing that's, that Trump has got going, you know what I mean? Bringing us back to the common law and all that, getting out the corporation. So,
Trump is going to do some good. Trump is going to do some bad. It is what it is. He's, listen, he's not going to do he's not going to do everything that we need him to do, but he's going to do enough of what we need him to do.
That's right. That's right.
He's the first person to do this, make this major changes, get all these foreigners off our land.
That's right.
I would like to say that I do agree with what Too Much had to say about, because I have noticed many groups, especially on this app, that are saying that slavery never existed. And I think that that's one of the ways to mess us up when it comes to getting reparations of any sorts. And second, I don't understand why any black person would ever hold up Trump like he is your savior. If he had the ability to deport us, he would.
No, let me tell you something.
I just think that if he does do things that benefit us in any kind of way, it never was like intentional, like that's what he wants to do.
Okay,
his narrative is for himself.
Let me ask you a question though.
Hold on. Let me say this real quick. This is what I'm going to say, because I know everybody, listen. If anybody has the right to be upset with Trump, I got more reasons than anybody on this panel, because Trump messed up my money.
All right.
He really messed up my money when he was president the first time, when I was working on blockchain, when I was getting all these contracts from the electric company, Ohio State and Power. and we were trying to buy up all these coal power plants, that he happened to mess that whole thing up for me to where the phones just stopped ringing. Where I had everybody on the phone trying to make a deal with me. Trump did his thing, which was the right thing to do, by the way. It wasn't, but it messed up my money to where I could have been a millionaire 10, 20 times over. Okay? But understand this. Listen, Trump is the only president that acknowledged the foundational Black America without calling us foundational Black American.
Right.
He's the only president that recognized us as the people who built this country. He's
That's right.
the only one that said
That's
the
right.
14th Amendment was not for everybody else, but was only for slaves.
That's right.
No
he
one
said
has
it all.
ever done that.
That's
Trump,
right.
it's not that if Trump could deport us, he wouldn't.
That's right.
And he can't.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
impossible.
It's not even a thought.
Yes, we're the only
But let me
people
tell
that
you who
can't.
That's
Trump.
right.
But let me tell you who Trump can deport. He can deport some of them Native Americans.
He's
That's
doing
right.
it.
He already
Right.
has.
That's
He
right.
can do that because they're not really American.
A $5 fucking Indian.
They're $5.
That's right.
A lot of them are Hispanic, and they're trying to
That's
ride under the Native American coattail. And
They're
then
trying to be my people, and my phone fell down. They're trying to pretend to be my people, and I find it very insulting, to be honest.
Hey, let me ask you a question though. What is her name? Let's see. I gotta click on it. One Ashley.
Yes.
Yeah. So what makes you anti Trump?
Well, because like how he's removing certain literature out of the military for them, but he's keeping like Maya Angelou and stuff like that, but he's allowing them to keep, the Nazi rhetoric in their libraries. That's why, like stuff like
what type of Nazi rhetoric?
What do you mean? What type of Nazi rhetoric?
I'm just trying to get an understanding of what you're talking about. Because I mean, that stuff like that. The problem that we have right now is that we have people. First of all, our people been indoctrinated so cold, and the skins are cast on us so abrasive.
Right, to where the point that I believe that some people are delusional, and I know you've seen it on this app as well, where people are denying the fact that that slavery even existed. When age, there are more slaves today than there was back then. Just because they don't label you as a slave doesn't mean you aren't a slave.
It's not that people don't believe that it was slavery. What it is everything was taught to us in reverse. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, we don't need to live like some of us just dream of being a slave. That's, right. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, that's not the truth.
That's right.
But when you speak the truth, then we got to bring up the YT people because they were a lot of them were slaves. They're covered by the 14th Amendment.
Right.
See, we don't talk about that. So if we're going to talk about the truth, you got to talk about the truth. You got to keep it 100.
Yeah, but
back to what I'm saying.
Trump is for black people at all. I believe that he's a businessman. He's a real estate developer.
Hold on real quick. I'm going to let you finish. I got to interject real quick because he said something. That's why I don't like y'all to talk too fast. I want y'all to take your time because you guys say things and we got to unpack what you say before you can move on to the next point. When you say these white people were slaves, they were indentured servants. That's not the same thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the misperception.
Indentured servitude is not the same thing as what chattel slavery was.
They got
paid.
All foreigners. They're all foreigners.
Indentured servitude is volunteering.
Yeah, they got paid. So we, the ones that were here and the American Indians got swept up into it also.
Can I say this so that it can be clear? No, you know what? So I actually can prove that, right? So I have a few freedmen, which a lot of these Native Americans try to say, and I'm only saying Native American, not because I'm not an indigenous person because they got that name being sellouts, right? But there are some of us who are not sellouts to get reservation land and buy casinos, whatever, and candy and whatnot. There are others of us who were never slaves. And that's the only part, at least from me, that's like, no, our people.
And we're not saying that all American Indians became slaves. We're not saying
No,
that.
I'm not only American Indians, I'm talking about Black Americans too.
Yeah. That's
Yes,
what
I don't believe that everyone was a slave. No, that would be.
But hold
That's
up,
what-
enough of us were.
No,
That's what I'm
only
getting at.
like 300,000 slaves were brought over here.
No, yes, only like 300,000 was
And then if you look at the math, there's no way that those slaves would have made 50 million Americans.
There were two slave trades, ma'am. There was two.
The Indian and the transatlantic.
Yes. And the biggest one was among the Indians, not other Africans.
Absolutely.
The biggest one was from when they enslaved the Indians, and that's the
absolutely
biggest slave trade, and you cannot deny it.
No, I'm saying that for sure. I'm saying it for sure, but I'm also trying to
That's legit. That is
But you're
true.
absolutely right. But when you say Indian, they think that you're talking about Native Americans, and that's not.
No. I got you. There was again. You said it so eloquently. You said Native Americans were the sellout ones.
Yes.
They got the reservation and got the casino.
Yes.
Those were never. They were never enslaved.
Small percentage of us.
Never enslaved because they sold out, so they didn't have to be.
But as a group, we're richer than them.
Of course we are.
They got their reparations
As a
just
group,
as
we are a nation on our own. FBA.
So I want to get this clear. I want to get this clarified. But the sister at the top, I forget what it is, but yeah, I just want to understand. So it's people listening, and I just got to get this out because I'm kind of tired of this this anti-Trump rhetoric. I mean, anybody has a choice of believing who they want, but when it comes to the truth and reality and thinking logically, if you're going against him, you're going against our people because all the stuff that he's doing is benefiting us.
Correct.
Understand that, and that's what we're trying to get through to.
That's why we're not bothering Trump. We're like, let Trump do what he's gonna do.
That's
He's
right.
not gonna do everything we want done, but he's getting enough done. And as long as his policies, key thing, policy doesn't affect Black Americans, we're okay. As long as nobody's focusing on the Black American, which we don't want nobody to focus on us.
Oh
right now.
my God.
We want everybody to leave us alone.
That's right.
We can do what we need to do on our own.
Get the popcorn out.
We don't want no Africans bothering us. We don't want no Caribbeans bothering us. We don't want no Hispanics bothering us.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
People bothering us.
That's right. That's right.
Everybody focus on something else.
That's right.
So we can do what we need to do.
May I respond to that?
He wants to respond.
Yeah. May I respond? My stance is this. If I don't support him, then that means I'm against you. I find that is not. I really don't understand that.
Because
But-
the policies
finish?
are for us. Okay, go ahead.
Can I finish? Because for one, he is a business person, correct? And he is actually not a good business person. His track record has proven that. And I'm just speaking of him as business, not as a personal person. He is an opportunist and he is for himself. If he makes certain decisions that benefits us in some sort of way, that does not mean that he is doing it specifically for us. He has his agenda is always first, and whoever benefits from that benefits from that. I am not sitting there supporting someone that, in my opinion, is inhumane.
Yeah.
My,
you done?
You can
I just
raise
got on
him
the
to be
line.
Are you done?
Hold on, Lex. We're gonna come to you, sir. Hold on. Just hold on.
yes, but to sit there and say that because I don't support a colonizer and an immigrant to this land to be my Messiah, that I'm against my own people.
Who said that he's our Messiah? That doesn't make any sense.
You just said.
That's not logical what you're saying, though. You know,
You just stated, sir.
I respect people's opinion, but when it comes to
so let me help it out, okay? This is what I've said in past lives and all. This is all I said, okay?
I don't have you. I'm listening to looking at the comments. I'm not going off emotions. I'm talking strictly business.
Okay.
When it comes down to
Love,
business,
don't look at the comments. The comments will throw you out. There's a bunch of bots there too.
it also goes with
hey, Too Much, what you about to say?
So let me
Niji is saying as well. For me, not supporting an immigrant to this land and saying that no, I do not think that he is for us.
I'm not a Trump apologist, so you don't got to worry about that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this: Trump is a Nebuchadnezzar type. And if you go back and you read the Bible about Nebuchadnezzar, you'll understand why I say Trump is a Nebuchadnezzar type.
You would have to educate me on that because I'm not.
Nebuchadnezzar was not of the tribe of Judah, was not of the lineage of the Israelites, of the Hebrew Israelites. He was somebody that God put in power to teach the Israelites a lesson. And after he got finished teaching the Israelites a lesson, he also made Nebuchadnezzar teach the enemies of the Israelites a lesson also.
Mm-hmm.
He enslaved the Israelites and put them under, and he became their king, and they had to bow down to him and all this stuff, right? And then God used him to destroy all the Israelites' enemies.
Mm-hmm.
And then he made Nebuchadnezzar go crazy until he realized that until Nebuchadnezzar admitted that he was being used by the Most High God, and that there's no other God in Israel.
Right.
And that's the part where
that is this is the making of a Trump right now. Trump went through everything he went through, past, present, future, to do what he's doing right now. He's paid with the tariffs. Everything he's doing is opening more doors and more opportunities for foundational Black Americans. Whether we like him as a person or not, we don't have to like him as a person. He needs to be a certain way so our enemies fear him. Because our enemies fear him. And they're kissing his butt. Because he is who he is. And we know Trump's going to do whatever Trump's going to do. We know Trump is selfish. We know Trump is a narcissistic type. We know that. No one's saying he's not.
And see the other part about that.
It's fitting us right now, so we don't go against him right now. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. So is Trump a friend of Black Americans right now? Yes, he is. Trump keep deporting, destroy the educational system that was indoctrinating us.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep doing that, okay? Let's get them tariffs cracking so we get some surplus in that bank so they can stop saying we don't got no money for reparations. Let's clap it up for that. Let's get, let's deport all the real criminals, get them up out of here, okay? Let's keep, now is he going to let some Daniel Pennies go and parade them around as heroes and we don't like that? No. Is he going to let some freaking Boers from South Africa come over here and we don't like that? No. But guess what? It's not harming us.
Mm-mm.
Is he going to practice some white supremacy? Yeah, but it's not harming us right now.
Yeah.
That's the key point.
Yep.
And when it does start to affect and it does start to harm us, do you think we're going to sit back and let it happen to us?
We're going to rise up.
No.
But at that point, why even? Okay.
Just try to observe it.
Like the other day,
because there's no president that we can put in his place. Listen, there's no president that we can put in his place to switch him out that's going to make it better for us anyway.
I don't believe that no parties ever had our interests.
Exactly. So as long as we know that none of the presidents has ever had our best interests, that's all we need to know. We got a good enough one right now because right now, the Most High is using him to take out The 3-letter alphabet.
The reality is that you guys are hearing this message.
Hold on. Let me finish. Hold on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
The FBI, all those that are attacking the media that was against Black Americans, he done flipped them upside down to where they have no credibility right now.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So the FBI, the CIA, the media, all those who've been an enemy to us, he's crushing. Let him crush them.
That's right.
You don't have to like
May I
them.
ask a question?
And that's exactly what Showtime said.
With y'all stating that, so how do you feel about
Wait for 1 second. I just want to say this. Everything that he said was 1,000% true, right? At this point, it's already in motion, right? It's already in motion. At this point, if you didn't hear this message 10 years ago, 20 years ago, however many years ago, it's already too late. If you're here and you're a part of this community, you have to see the reality that Trump would not be doing this stuff to help us. He's a businessman. I'm not going to say, I don't think he's a racist. I don't even care about racism and stuff like that, whatever, because race doesn't exist. What I will say is that whatever power that he is trying to appease, he's actually like gambling. Like, look, I'm going to say this with my whole chest. If Kamala, the half Caucasian Indian, half Jamaican Indian and Irish person would have been in power, we would have been sold off so much more quickly. This guy who does not care about us whatsoever, there's something making him do all these weird alley-oops to give us a chance.
Yeah.
Period. If you don't see what he's doing, then maybe it's not for you. And I do not care about freaking Trump. I care about my freaking people in every variation of them. Get out of your feelings and look at what he's doing. If you're here and you hear this message is for you. Outside of that, you are going to die unalive the slowest death, because you will not rock with your people. And your people, that neuromelanin in your pineal gland, that is the only thing that keeps me coming to lives like this. There's nothing beyond that. It's like back in the day, like Siberians and the freaking Iberians and whatever. Welcome to the USA. Welcome to the USA, and welcome to being at war. So who are you going to side with?
WAR, Jasmine, watch that WAR.
I'm sorry. Well, but you have to choose a side. There is no in between.
Right.
Hold on. I'm gonna let Oneness talk after Jasmine, and I'm gonna come right to you. Like she's gonna say, I'm gonna let Oneness.
I'm gonna land my plane, but I really want to say that not because I gain anything from this, right? I don't even consider myself a content creator, although people look at me like that. I am here because I freaking really want to put out the signal to us, the people who recognize that signal, that this is not a game. This is not putting feathers in your freaking hair. This is not going back to Africa and you building up their land and them taking that land for you. We are literally back at the beginning.
I'm doing this for TikTok so they know this is tea. I don't drink. This is tea TikTok. So y'all be trying to flag me for alcohol. I don't understand why.
They flag us. It's your color, your skin color. They hate the copper color. They hate the copper color.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to say it. Just say it within the parameters. But absolutely.
I want to say this though. The whole thing about it is everybody.
I'm gonna say this. Give me 10 seconds.
Let one actually finish. Get 10 more seconds.
No, Nietzsche's my friend. I'm gonna say this and land my plane. This is not about going through history facts that we know. We're so smart. We know that. Look at us. Our melanin holds codes. Our DNA holds codes. Our language holds codes. They cannot exist without us. So I'm gonna land my plane there. Don't be afraid of one.
Let Ashley go, and then we're gonna go to Mr. Lexington down
here. I'm about to get out of here in a second.
Okay, go ahead real quick. So before you go ahead, say what you got to say.
No, I was just saying, basically, like anybody in this indigenous community, understands that Trump has been spiritually awakened, regardless if you want to admit it or not. That's just what it is. That's why all these things that don't seem logical are being done. But understand, he's tearing down the the old how could I say, the corporations and all that type of stuff. He's bringing the money back to us. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what everything is. To sum it all up, you know what I mean? And a lot of more things are going to come to us quicker, real soon. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. So basically, all this worrying about how much of how successful as a business person he's been or whatever, but when you look at what's happening right now, he's an expert on what's going on. And, I support the moves that he's making, most of them. And you gotta not think.
As long as he don't mess with the lineage, I'm okay.
Yeah,
with it. That's where I stand. The moment he starts messing with the lineage, then when we gotta stand on business, because that's what we do.
And these is chess moves that he's doing. You know what I'm saying? It's not no checkers. You know what I mean? That's why things are going the way they are. And I just want to say, just give it a chance. I'm, talking to the lady up top, something. But basically, we have to get out of that old indoctrinated thinking. If he's a racist and all this type of stuff, because we've always dealt with racism. But when we got somebody that's actually working for us, you can't go against them. That's all I'm saying, is just open it up. And
okay. And my thing is this: I'm not here to convince nobody. You can believe whatever the heck you want to believe. I'm not here to change your belief at all. So if you want to continue down that path, go right ahead. Nobody's going to shame you if you don't like Trump.
And somebody put in the comments, 𝗖𝗶𝗴𝗵𝘁𝘀, just what I'm talking about. If people read that, that's just what he did.
Hello.
Trump took down the U.S. court.
Look at the comments, because a lot of these people aren't even real people. Niji.
No. This is valid. I know this, but I couldn't say all that. But they're saying.
No, we say that, but the people in the comments, they're like bots. Some of them.
I agree with what 𝗖𝗶𝗴𝗵𝘁𝘀𝗀 is of that statement.
What did he say? Food stamps and
you just gotta. If you don't see it now, just again, he's only been in for what, 4 or 5 months. 4 months.
Are we really going to pretend like we're all on food stamps and getting wet?
No. That's just, some people vote because, you believe it or not, some people vote because they don't want their benefits taken away. Especially our seniors. Shout out to our seniors. They keep thinking Trump's going to take away Social Security and they don't like that. So they looking at their medicine having to go up. But listen, something has to give. We gotta come back to balance. And again, you gotta understand, if you're a senior right now, it's not about you. It's about our youth. It's about the legacy. It's about the predecessor. Who is gonna precede us? We gotta get them ready. We gotta get them sharp. We gotta get them focused, and we gotta get them standing on business early. And we're not gonna get it going the way we're going. If we like I said, if we would have had Kamala come in here, the dam would have been broke. The camel would have been broke.
All right, narrator, can I say something, please?
Go ahead.
Do any of you guys follow geopolitics?
Are you serious? Are you serious?
Geopolitics.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us about geopolitics.
Hold on. Let me say this. Hold on. Let me say this. Where are you from, sir?
I'm from the West Indies, and I live in America, right in West Palm. In the backyard of Trump.
Hold on.
I'm like 20 minutes from Trump. Hold
on, brother. You can't overtalk me. Respectfully, sir, when you start coming in with the do you know geopolitics and you're not even from our country, you need to calm that down. I'm tired. Listen, you're coming off wrong. You're not reading the room properly. If I know you seen my hat. My hat says FBA. Okay? If you're not from the lineage and you're going to try to tell us about politics, and then you're going to try to go into, do you understand geopolitics? Like you're up here and we're down here, and like you have all the, you don't. You got a homeland that you need to go to, and you need to fix that before you start talking about anything geopolitics and what's going on in the United States. I can care less that you're in the United States now. That just let me know you had a place to flee to, and you can thank some more foundational Black Americans the reason why you're here. But I don't ever like when people start trying to act like they up here. And if you know the audience, we're very well versed on a lot of things in here, sir. So before you start there, you need to read the room, brother. If you're not of the lineage, just shh. Because the people in here, we're talking lineage business. And we don't need no tether trying to tell us how we should think and how we should move. Our sister, she can believe whatever she wants to believe because she's a part of the lineage. And we're going to get her right. And we're going to converse and we're going to go back and forth and we're going to talk, facts upon facts, precept upon precept. That's what we're going to do here. We're going to rightly divide the truth here. But we're not going to have you come in here, brother, and try to act like you know more than us. And you got an accent thicker than mine. That's what we're not going to do. So you're going to hold up because I don't want to go into that yet. I'll let you speak, but we're going to go back to Ashley, let her finish what she was saying. Make sure our sister's okay. And then we'll let you try to tell us what you think geopolitics is and how you know more than us. Go ahead, Ashley.
Thank you. I respect everything, all of your opinions and everything. My background is in business and in information systems.
Can you mute Eric?
So I'm looking at it not from an emotional standpoint, not even that necessarily you have to look at it as a political, but also as a business as well. So it has nothing to do with emotions, nor just as a individual. I'm not trading one colonizer for another. I'm just not doing it. And I do agree with what you were saying about how I forgot the terminology that you used too much, as far as there is some sort of spiritual force that he is doing certain things, but that's not him doing it out of the kindness of his heart or anything like that. Right. So
he's doing it for his own self-interest, but again, that's how Nebuchadnezzar was not destroying the Israelites' enemies because it was for the Israelites. He was doing it because it also benefited him. So as long as our interests are aligned, is all I'm saying. As long as our interests are aligned for right now, let him do it, because listen, no other president could be doing or could have done what President Trump is doing right now. No other president would have had the balls to do it. He's now setting a new precedent for other presidents who's going to come after him. Because now that they've seen Trump do it, he's empowering other presidents to also do it. To stand up to the cabal, for lack of a better word. To stand up to the mafias and the secret hidden hands that are doing things behind the scene, and the so-called small hats that everybody is afraid of. Even though listen, even Trump, it seems like he's listening to the wrong people at times. But for the most part, he's in alignment with foundational Black American interests. And as long as that stays aligned, we don't need to get in his way. The moment he step out of line, we check him. Because he said it himself. If it wasn't for the Black vote, he could not have even been president.
Well, I do have a question with you saying that. Well, what is your perspective on what he was thinking when he said that he wants the El Salvadorian president to invest in 5 more prison systems and to be deporting the homegrowns? And also the fact that he is getting he is paying that president $25,000 per inmate per year for each one that he sends. So how is
I think
that
that's
helping?
okay. I see how people can be alarmed.
That's cheaper.
But I also
I'm
see
not in fear of anything. So when someone mentions emotions to me, it's baffling because I don't fear anything. I'm
I also
cautious.
see the flip side of that because it costs in America, it costs $100,000 just for one prisoner.
Yeah.
So 25,000 is a lot cheaper than 100,000. Okay, and also it's going to set the precedence for this. People are not going to want to go to El Salvador in prison. So guess what? Crime is going to go down. And those prisons right now is not for the average everyday criminal. It's not for the person who steals from Walmart. It's for the super duper criminals. As of right now, they're for criminals that we don't even want anywhere on the streets or in Gen Pop or in any population here. It's for mob bosses. We don't want mob bosses running the prisons. You understand what I'm saying? We want those leaders who are crime lords in another country up out of here, away from general pop, away from anything that they can do to keep things moving on the street, because that's what's been happening. Even though people go to prison, they're still calling shots from the prison. Let's keep it a bit. Let's keep it a bean. Let's be real about it. They're still calling the shots from the prison, whether they're in federal prison, whether they're in state prison. They're still running the yard, and they run the yard, and they run the drug, the cartel. They run all that. So if he's saying get them up out of here, and they're afraid of El Salvador prison, which they should be, that's a good thing, and it's cheaper. So instead of us investing in prisons in the United States, it's actually cheaper to outsource that. It's actually cheaper to outsource that. Now, again, can the wrong people get sent there? That's a possibility. That's a possibility. And that's the pros and the cons that we take when you take that risk and you make those gambles. And he's just Trump enough to do it. No other president would have done that. No other president would have had the balls to do something like that. So him creating a prison system outside the United States, we shouldn't have any listen, if we're really trying to rehabilitate our criminals, we need to be focused on doing that. And the ones that can't be rehabilitated, they need to get up out of here anyway.
Okay, may I ask a question?
Wait, hold on one second. Because I want to just, I'm going to be going to sleep soon too, right? I just feel like when it comes to rehabilitation, right? These prisoners, I get it. Oh my gosh, you guys are being sent back to your homelands or whatever. I don't know how that feels to be kicked out of my homeland, to be honest. But if you're going to stay here, you need to be in factories. You should be making our Louis Vuitton purses and stuff like that. Why are we giving criminals all this grace? Are you so remedial? Not you, but are these criminals so remedial that they don't realize the M16 logo looks like the autism logo? Or you come over here trying to tether here and get citizenship by marrying into our clan. Should I feel sorry for you because you're not born here? I would expect the exact same thing if Brazil or Guatemala or Nigeria or Ethiopia had those laws for me. We would follow the same rules, right? So why do you think you can come to our country and not follow our rules and then think like, well, I'm here, I'm American too? You're not freaking American. You're not. And it's not racist. You're just not us. If I were Jamaican, I'd be a proud Jamaican. I love, their food and stuff or whatever. I don't really know what they do.
Oxtails.
Oxtails, I love it. The beans and peas or whatever. I love that shit. What are we talking about? They act like because we're proud of ourselves that we hate them. And that is so weird. While telling us that we're whack and copying us and tethering to our land. It is disgusting, and the most it's embarrassing for you. I would love to come to your homeland.
But it's most of the women. You know, you talking about? Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I've seen not the men, I've seen the women. You know, yeah, it's been a while. It's been some years back because my son is 50, so it was before he was born. Have you heard from him? Yeah, I did. I talked to him because that is nice. No, I called him.
I don't know why. I don't know what happened, y'all. I couldn't mute her. I don't know that she's been. I don't even think she knows she was on live. I really don't think she knows she's on live.
Something's going on. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I really don't think
I'm gonna delete myself because like they always do this. I can't I can't mute myself, whatever, but I'll come back. But no, because that's real. I'll come back.
Yeah, we'll just come back. We hear you. One Ashley, go. You were saying something, but again, man, listen. I'm not a Trump apologist. You know, but I do recognize the time and the timing that we're in. And America needs a president like Trump right now.
I respect all of your opinions, but I just like I stated, I'm not going to swap one colonizer for the other.
I mean, but if you think about it, that's what we've been doing. That's what every president up to 47 has been. Even Obama.
I mean, we're not saying you got to like them. We're just saying you guys you can't be just hating on them because that's just making it look real.
That's not hating on them. I don't.
It is. Man. We got people. Hold on. We got people.
Listen,
we got people out here.
Critical of Trump. I think everybody has the right to be critical.
Yeah, but when he's doing something for our community, so it's like, you know, it's kind of like. We see all the time, you know, all these protests and this and that. And
yeah, we know not to participate in these we know that's the male militia. We gotta let them do what they do. Let the male militia rise up. It's time they do it. They do it anyway because they haven't been for a long time. They've been the ones sitting on the couch watching us.
I'm talking about our people though. Our people is being involved in these protests and stuff.
A small few.
Yeah.
We're looking at that crowd, and you see nothing but mayonnaise, brother.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly.
I just tired of them using our people for their missions. You know, that's just trying to get people with that liberal thinking.
You don't think that's possibly what he's doing with the Black community as well, like how he does with the redneck community? He utilizes them as a tool in order for them to fit his narcissistic supply.
But see, the thing is, I'm trying to get through.
Isn't that what any president and any mainstream media? Isn't that what they've been doing?
That's what I'm saying. Like as far as how you all say that he is for our people, when he is utilizing people as tools to fit his opportunities that he wants. And I think the reason why he went gung-ho so fast is because he has another agenda, and that is to fill his pockets. Because it's kind of contradictory. It's kind of contradictory how we speak of immigrants, yet we have an unelected official that has big moves that he can do. We have the whole everyone around from his whole household is filled with nothing but immigrants.
Who's the unelected official that you're talking about?
Musk.
Okay.
Yes, he's an unelected official.
But he's appointed by the president, and that's perfectly what every president does. So it's just because Trump is doing it, it's an issue. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, every president has done. Every president appoints their own cabinet. Every president has done it. And Trump is not the first to do that.
And Musk, because like I stated before, my background is in tech and business. That's what I am. Mm-hmm. So I'm speaking from a business standpoint. And Musk, just like Gates, are not academically inclined, nor they just had the money to pay for certain things. And of course, their skin color allows them to elevate into certain positions, and they get to do certain things.
So what do you think Elon Musk is doing so wrong with the what do you think Elon Musk is getting wrong right now? What is he getting wrong right now?
Sir, I don't.
Oh, here we go.
No, let her talk out, brother. Let her.
What do you mean? Oh, here we go.
Because you ain't got nothing to say.
No, don't say that, brother. Let her talk. She does have something to say. She has an opinion.
She's trying to figure it out.
No,
I'm not.
I just want her to open up. I want her to open up.
When I want to speak,
let her talk. I asked her a question. I want her to answer. What is Musk getting wrong right now?
For one, I don't understand, as any human being, why would you want to take any type of advice from someone that has relationships with bots?
He has 12 baby mamas?
No, not that. No.
He has a relationship with what?
With bots.
With bots, with real bots that look like women?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know.
Obviously, he's not stable mentally.
He's autistic, that's for sure. That's for sure. But what is he getting wrong? I get it. But what is he getting wrong? What is he doing that is so wrong? Is that seeping over into the White House? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, because we're talking about, all this money they're spending, they could have actually given it to us as reparations, correct? Because every single race has been given reparations from America, correct? So all of this spending that is doing what Guantanamo Bay, spending to send these people overseas, the flight has to be paid for, all the military people have to be staffed, the equipment that they're using has to be staffed.
Is he not saving? I mean, the tariffs alone was bringing in $2 billion a day. Is he not saving us money too, and making us money too? The whole gold card that people can buy to get their citizenship into the United States.
And those
isn't that making us money? Isn't that bringing us money? Are we not? Is he not trying to balance the budget, which hasn't been done in over 20 years since President Clinton?
Sir, no super wealthy person wants to be here and live. That because of our tax system. There are other countries where they can go and live tax free.
That's why he's getting rid of it.
That's why he's trying to get rid of taxes by doing tariffs. If he does the tariff, see our history, we became a powerhouse not because we taxed the people, it's because we wasn't taxing the people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if I was to buy 20
before we taxed the people, before 1920 or 1930, around World War I and World War II is when we start taxing the people, and then we just stayed taxing the people. But before that, we became a powerhouse because other countries were taxing their people, but we weren't taxing ours.
And we're not supposed to be taxed.
No one
trying to get rid of the taxes right now. He's actually the only president that's been dangling that little carrot in front of us, like, how would you like to pay no taxes eventually? If these tariffs work out the way I want them to work out, yeah, your goods, when you buy stuff outside of America, is going to be expensive. But as long as you buy inside of America, your goods aren't going to be expensive. But if you buy outside of America, it's going to be expensive. But think about all the money that we're going to get that's going to come into the country.
Can I add to that?
You don't have to pay income tax anymore. That's what he's saying. That's
something about the tariff. Or the tariff basically is to our benefit, actually, because it's not attacking China, and he's basically went after those corporations because the elites, all that money, he's went and dismantled all of that. So now that's why we're seeing all this stuff on China, putting on TikTok about we can buy our stuff directly from them, and the real cost, and everything that's being made out there is the same stuff that these people are marking up 150% and selling it back to us. You know what I mean? So that's another
That's the
benefit
biggest
right
scam
there.
on the planet, right
So we
there. Buying Louis Vuitton, Gucci, and Chanel, and they make the exact same bag. They just don't have the Chanel name on it
and they
in
just put it
China,
on here,
and we call that a knockoff, and we act like one is better than the other when it really isn't.
and it's the same product, but they just take it to their shop in the U.S. or Italy or wherever and put their logo on it, and then that's just what Trump is doing. He's just mantled all of that, and that's another thing to
They're
our
doing
benefit.
exactly what Trump has done with his propaganda products, which he's designing it in the USA, sends it to China for them to manufacture it because we don't have the tool and die equipment to be able to do that. And then because it's cheaper, and then
Not
he
right now.
sends it back. Can I finish? And then it gets sent back here, and that is your surplus. That because he makes a profit while paying a low wage to
Okay, so
the Chinese manufacturing company so that they can profit. If it was
okay,
feasible to do it here in the USA, right? Because we did have
okay,
those jobs here before.
okay.
And what
So he's bringing those
happened?
jobs back. I already know what you're
No,
doing. I know where you're going
no,
at.
it's okay. You keep cutting me off, but it's
Yeah,
fine.
because you
Hold
guys keep
on,
cutting me off
me,
and you're long winded.
me. Let her finish. She hasn't really got a chance to speak, brother.
That's all she's been doing is talking.
She really, you've been kind of jumping the gun on her, brother. I'm listening to you. You're jumping the
Yeah.
gun. Let her
All
say
right.
what she wants to say. Don't assume you know what she's gonna say before she even say
Yeah.
it. Let her say
Go
it.
ahead. Go ahead. All right. I apologize. Go ahead.
Yeah, stop jumping the gun. Let her speak. Go ahead, Ashley.
Okay, what I'm saying is that there was a reason why those manufacturing jobs did leave. And and it's because it costs too much to make them here. You have to have the tool and die available. And a lot of those products, like you're talking about, Louis Vuitton, Dolce Gabbana, all of those, products, those high-end products, they ship them to a manufacturing company. For one, they get the leather from Africa. They ship it to China so that because they have the tool and die in the manufacturing company so that they can go ahead and do it, right? Correct. Then they send it back and they make a surplus. They are paying pennies on the dollar to make these products and raping you. Oh, I'm sorry for using that word. I'm so sorry for using that word. And then they're sitting there making triple the amount the actual person that owns the product when they are selling it back to the consumer in the US.
Correct.
So that is in a small business right now in this day and age. Say that this business has $20,000 invested into a manufacturing company so that they can get their products sent back over here. With those tariffs now, that $20,000 is going to cost them nearly $300,000 to get it off of customs. So how is that winning for a small business company here in America? They cannot afford to have their products made here, sir, because of, and then too, you have to think about, do you really want that type of environment problem that's going to come with those manufacturing plants as well? And then on top of it, we've seen it with the auto manufacturing. It turned into autonomous manufacturing. It's no longer manufacturing in that method anymore. So then on top of it, it takes years, more than 3 years, just for a department in the auto manufacturing the plant's already built and everything, just for that department to transform into, let's say like back then it was like to transform into the 9-speed or, into the autonomous actual department. And that's just a department. That's not including the factory. So he's selling you a dream that is impossible to do.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think we have to get everything from China?
No, I don't. But what I am saying is when I'm speaking on business here, and what
Okay,
And with that is,
I know business too, ma'am. I know
I don't. I'm not saying that none of you do, but I'm just saying because I keep on getting told that I'm speaking off of feelings and stuff like that, and I'm not.
I know business. I know money. And let me tell you, and let me just explain this. Listen. They can make stuff right now for us in Mexico.
Correct.
Right
but
now.
But he burnt bridges with that, didn't he?
Mexico is already gearing up to handle what China couldn't do. And we'll get the stuff here faster. We'll get the stuff here faster. And their tariff is not nearly as high as China's tariffs right now. And we can still get that cheap labor right there in Mexico for small business owners that need to do that. And they can actually drive down there and go see their product opposed to looking at their product or flying out to China, right?
Okay.
And making sure it's done, because China do a lot of dirty stuff. Listen, man, China's been stealing our patents. Mm-hmm. All they do is copy everything we do. They just copy it.
But can I say this too?
And then make it cheaper and then sell it back to us, and we're the one that invented the thing.
Yep. Listen. So I used to think like you guys.
Hold on real quick, brother. Hold on, brother.
Yeah.
China was selling Tesla cars without Tesla on it. Because Tesla was making cars out there. You know what China started doing? China started selling Tesla cars and taking the technology. That's what they were doing. China learned how to do electric vehicles from us.
Right.
They weren't doing that. They just stole and we can't do nothing. Here's the thing. They can steal our stuff and we can't do nothing about it. That's not right. So we got to get it from out from up under China, because all they do is copy, steal, copy, steal. That's all they do. And they actually devalue our stuff by making their stuff. So at the end of the day, I hear what you're saying. Prices are going to be crazy for a little while, but they're going to even back out. How do I know? Because that's how business is. It always does. It's still going to be based off of supply and demand, no matter what. And as long as we can secure a new mechanism to make the stuff until we get our factories back in here and they start getting good to go and we start getting used to the prices here again, that's the only thing that's missing. We got to have a replacement for China. And guess what? Mexico is that replacement.
Nah, we can bring them right here. That's what
No. We can, but what she's talking about the small businesses. They need that. Small businesses do need that cheap labor.
But we're
Mexico has tariffs on them, but it's not going to be nearly as high as China's tariffs.
So check this out though. This is why I used to think just like what you're saying, but then I listened to somebody else and I really understand this now. It's bigger than that. All these major corporations have been knocked out. Understand that. So now that's making a wave for us and our small businesses and for the U.S. to get back on track. So understand that. That's what he did. It's not about them.
Brother, I hear what you're saying, brother, but that does. I'm gonna be honest with you. You're making Trump out to sound like. Hold on, Lenny. Hold on. We gotta mute your mic up, bro. You're making Trump sound out to be a savior. Hold on, Lenny. You got an echo going on in your background. You gotta mute up. There's an echo. You're making Trump out to sound like a savior, and he's not that.
Yeah, it's just more to it though. It's more to it.
No, I hear what you're saying. You're making it seem like he's not. Listen, them corporations, they're not being knocked out.
They are.
No.
That's what I'm saying. That they are.
No.
With everything that's going on right now, it's about that. You're gonna see in a second. That's what the trade thing is really about.
Brother, I do see. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I do see. He's trying to bring the corporations back here. They're not being knocked out. See, let me tell you something. The corporations would rather make the money with cheaper labor over there. He's forcing them to come back here and put the money back into the American people's pocket instead of putting the money back in their pocket. See, what those corporations are doing, not only are they making themselves rich, they're making other countries rich as well.
Yeah.
He's saying, come back over here. Those corporations are not going to be dead. They're not, unalive. They're not going anywhere. They're just, he's saying, he's giving them incentives to make them more powerful here. So what he's really trying to do is he's really trying to knock out the tax completely for these corporations. That's what he's really doing. He's trying to say, if you're a business owner, you don't pay no taxes. That's what he's doing. So how is that knocking out the big corporation when that's actually giving them an incentive to come back?
Well, it's
as long as there's taxes,
it's bigger than you.
They don't want to pay taxes here because taxes are too high. But they'll pay taxes they'll pay tax over there because there is no tax over there. It's cheap labor. It's all profit. It's pennies on the dollar in manufacturing, and they come back and sell it here, like I said, 3, 4, 5, 6 times the amount. So he's not getting rid of the corporations.
Yeah,
he's giving them an incentive to come back.
The real thing is that this is the real great reset. I understand that. So that's just what's happening right now. So the money structure is totally changing. You know what I mean? Like our dollar is not supposed to mean anything. We're supposed to be switching over to that new currency. I think it's already in motion.
You're not talking about BRIC, right? You're not talking about BRIC, right? BRIC is not us.
No. I'm not talking about BRIC. I'm talking about that new money system that they got.
Crypto? You talking about crypto?
No, I don't think it's a blockchain.
Yeah, it's crypto. It's crypto.
Yeah. So that's what, they're getting rid of the fiat money. The fiat money.
I keep telling people that's the future. That is the future. Yeah, everybody.
It's here now. It's here already.
It's here now. Yeah, we're going from analog to digital to blockchain technology. That's the future, and that's where it's at. That's where it's analog, digital to blockchain technology. It's here now. We don't know. Listen, in the next 4 years, I wouldn't be surprised. And here, but see, here's the thing: when you knock out the fiat money, you know what happens to the banks, right?
Yep, they're gone. And that's what I'm talking about. All that stuff that we've been knowing.
So remember I told y'all the oligarchs are changing.
Yep.
We used to be under a banking, coal, and steel oligarch.
Yep.
And now we have these technocrats now. They're not even called oligarchs anymore. They're called technocrats. That's the changing of the guard. That's the new emperors, if you want to speak. The new leaders of the future, the new gods, whatever you want to call them. It's the technocrats that are going to be ruling from here on out. And nobody can stop it. And Trump is telling the coal people and everybody else what they need to hear right now to bring back, because when they come back over here, guess what's going to happen? Guess who those corporations are going to be under once they come back here? The technocrats. So it's not like he's getting rid of those corporations. He's just switching the CEOs out. He's saying these are out with the old, in with the new. They're going to upgrade all the factories and everything. And they're not going to push AI and robots on us right away, but it's eventually going to get phased out. The working class, the people that work in these factories, they're not going to be needed really. See, here's what you got to understand too. There's an enlightenment coming where we're not going to need you to do the remedial job, because guess what? That's going to be beneath us. You're going to need to step your game up, step your mental capacity up, and be able to do something else. The new wave of children are going to be working side by side with AI and robots. That's where we're going. You're not going to be able to do anything without a robotic assistant and some AI with you. You're going to be what's the word I'm looking for? They call it cyborgs. We already are kind of like a cyborg already, because anytime you hold your phone in your hand, that's you connected to technology. But now it's going to be different. You're going to have these glasses that you're going to be able to put on, and they're going to be able to get on the computer, and they're going to be able to tell you what somebody's saying in another language. You're not going to have to worry. We're going to be completely connected to technology. That's coming like within the next 10 years. That's coming. So it's not that I hear you want to call it the Great Reset, and I get it. It's like a Great Reset, but it's really just a changing of the guards. It's the same system, because they're still not going to give up the system, right? The system of that oppresses people. Are they going to get rid of that?
That's supposedly what's happening.
Supposedly, but they're not.
Well, we'll see.
They're not going to get rid of that system. They're always going to have that system that prefers them over us. And if we start believing that they aren't going to have that system, that's where we're mistaken, where we're trying to make somebody out to be a Messiah when they're not the Messiah. They could be a forerunner too, but they're not the Messiah, brother. Trump is not gonna destroy it all. He's gonna do what he can. He's a Nebuchadnezzar type. Nebuchadnezzar was not a Messiah. He was just used at that moment to get what needs to be done.
I agree on that.
Get the people out from up under the yoke they were under. And that's what Trump is going to do. He's going to get us out from up under the yoke that we're under. But he's not the Messiah.
Yeah, I agree. We just can't block the, we just can't make it harder for them.
There's nothing we could do.
Yeah.
They're gonna hate Trump no matter what we do. All we got to do is we see the play, let the play run its course.
Yeah.
If Trump get in trouble and something, and there's a wrench in what he's trying to do, just know that the Most High is part of the plan. It's part of the plan. Like, Trump ain't gonna do everything we want him to do, brother. He's not.
Oh yeah. He ain't expected to do anything, but everything that we're getting already.
He can't do everything we want him to do, because he got other people he got to appease, and he got to play the game. He got to make it seem like he on their team even when he's not.
Yeah.
It's still politics. Politics is the game where you make your enemy your friend. That's the game of politics.
Yeah.
You make your enemy think you're friends, and then you crush them.
That art of war for real.
Yeah, that's politics. That's a whole different warfare. That's why I'm not gonna have nobody come in and talk about, do you understand geopolitics? And you got a thick accent, and you're not even from here. Man, you better shut that up, man. You better go fix your homeland.
And that's the thing, is how people look at us and they just think that they could talk to us anyway, and we gotta take it.
Man, these people are crazy. Brother, if you were so smart, how come you couldn't fix your homeland?
Oh, man, your own country.
Don't come over here wagging that finger trying to tell us, do you understand geopolitics, nigga? No.
I just wish we could just all get together, more unity, instead of this worrying about, what Trump is doing and that, and all this other stuff we don't need to be worried about.
There's unity right now. We got unity right now. But we still gonna have our own opinion.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of it. But I'm just saying, like, people worrying about the wrong things. They're worrying about all these illegals getting deported and all this stuff that's a benefit to us. They're like, it's just so weird. Like, why are you guys worried about that? Does not concern us.
It's gonna take a while for everybody to wake up. See, just like listen, everybody's going to be skeptical when they've been hurt. If we ain't never been hurt, there wouldn't be no skepticism.
Yeah, I agree.
So all they got to do is wait it out, because no matter what even when they think they're against Trump, they're just feeding right into the plan. They just don't know it, because they don't see the plays that he's running. But they will see over time, and then they'll be like, you know what, just like us with Obama. We was all gung-ho for Obama.
Oh, my God.
We was all gung-ho for Obama. And then all of a sudden we start realizing that, hey, man, Obama really isn't who we thought he was.
Man, I feel so bad. I went to the first inauguration.
Yeah, and some people it took 8 years, and then 4 more years, 12 years before they realized, man, maybe Obama wasn't that good. I kept thinking, I wish Obama could have did 3 terms, but now that I think about it,
man, we'll be so tore up right now.
yeah, exactly. So it's just going to take its time with Trump. It's going to take people, because of Trump's personality and who he is. Some people don't respect that, right?
Hey, you know what? That's a good thing you're saying right there. His personality. If somebody broke it down like this, he's a New Yorker, and the New Yorkers are cocky, and a lot of people don't take well to that. I can relate to that just as Californians. You know what I'm saying? People think we cocky too. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. It's Trump's personality, but once we warm up to Trump's personality, then it's like, you know what? He's not so bad after all. Like I said, if anybody got a reason to hate Trump, it's me.
And me too.
Trump messed up my money. I could be a millionaire right now if it wasn't for Trump. If it wasn't for Trump, I'd be a millionaire right now. He messed up my specific deal with Ohio Power.
Mm-hmm.
I had them at the balls.
Yeah.
They were going to give me industrial line electricity for 8 cents a kilowatt. You tell me anybody who can get that price.
Yeah.
Industrial line?
Yeah.
Not resident. I'm talking about industrial line. Get them down to 7, 8 cents a kilowatt.
Yeah.
That's unheard of. That's unheard of. And I had them all calling, trying to make a deal, scrambling to make a deal. And then I start noticing them stalling. And then I figured out why they were stalling. Because they were waiting to see how Trump was going to deregulate the power. And when Trump deregulated the power, that messed up my deal. They went and bought back all the coal power plants under a new name. They went from Ohio Power to Star Power and bought it up and had a secret auction. They made a mention of it in the newspaper. You would have missed it if you read the newspaper. If you didn't know what you were looking for, you wouldn't even know there was an auction going on for coal power plants.
I bet the Democrats know about it.
And bought yeah, they did. And bought it all back under the new name Star Power instead of Ohio Power. The same board that was on Ohio Power switched to the new LLC Star Power. And bought it all back up. And then now, instead of them calling me, I was calling them, and then they stopped taking my call.
The insider trader needs to be illegal all the way. But yeah.
So that's what happened to my deal. I got messed up.
You about to bounce back harder this time, though.
Oh yeah, especially with this coin and everything that I'm doing right now, and I'm about to come out with our own crowdfunding platform real soon. I'm in talks right now. I'm about to put together a strong portfolio and a strong white paper for our own crowdfunding platform.
Yeah.
And I'm about to go to the SEC, get it all legit, get the lawyers in place. It's going to cost some money. But seeing how the Carmelo Anthony case is, I see that we need it. We cannot be hindered any longer. We need our own crowdfunding platform where they can't take us off because we're black and then put us back on
when they want to.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, man, that's just it's a cool thing right there. We got things to work on. But it's all coming.
Man, I got projects, man. I usually do like 1 or 2, sometimes 3 projects a year, man. This FBA coin happened to be usually I invite people in to do it with me. I don't really work on projects by myself. The project I did with the blockchain back in 2018, 2019, I had 2, 3, 4 of my buddies with me, and we did that together, and we all got screwed together. Matter of fact, all of us got screwed out of that deal. We got screwed together. We all would have been kings but we got screwed. But I do about 2-3. You know, people call me up and they have projects for me, and they'll be like, you know, hey, I got this going on, and my projects will take about 3-6 months, sometimes a year, sometimes shorter, and it's a lump sum, and then, you know, they pay me. I don't gotta work the whole year if I don't want to. You know, like I said, I've been to 12 countries in 5 years, man.
Yeah.
You know, so
that's what's up.
You know, so this other project I'm working on, I'm gonna be looking for people to help me do it, because the coin, I didn't even want to do the coin project by myself. I just knew that nobody was gonna have the time to do it, and that I was gonna, you know, it was all gonna follow me anyway. So I just did the coin. I did it myself.
Yeah.
I put the time in and the focus, and put it together myself. And now the new project I'm thinking about doing right now, well, not thinking about, I'm going to do, is we need our own crowdfunding platform.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
So that's another thing. And then if nobody gives us our own TikTok type of platform situation, that might be my next project.
Yeah. I just can't believe
I'm still waiting on people to build. I'm like, okay, I know it's not easy, but it's not difficult or impossible either. So why aren't doing our people who have the money build it? Why aren't they building it?
Yeah, that's the thing. Their money might be tied up politically under the table, and they can't do it. You know, just like how
it doesn't cost nearly that much money as people think it do, man. Let's be. It's gonna cost some thousands. Some might even cost a couple $100,000, but the money is there. So why aren't people doing it? So I'm gonna sit back, and I'm gonna, like I said, I see another opportunity that we need. We need our own crowdfunding. And like I said, I'm not afraid of competition. I want more people to be that are foundational Black American, that are from our lineage, trying to do this. So I don't mind telling people, hey man, this is what I'm working on. And then somebody trying to beat me to the punch. Please beat me to the punch. Please go be first. Like, I gave people adamant time to make their own utility token. I told people I was gonna do it. And they're like, no, don't tell nobody. Shh, be quiet. Shh. And I'm like, no, I want people to know.
Yeah.
Because I want others to go do it. And nobody did it. So I sat down 3 months straight coding and did it.
Yeah.
Now I'm saying we need our own crowdfunding. It's gonna take some money. It's gonna take some lawyers. You're gonna have to have conversation with the SEC, and you're gonna have to get their approval and all that, and get under compliance and all that stuff. And yeah, it's work involved. But it's not difficult. It's not difficult. It's not anything that nobody can't do.
Yeah.
It's gonna cost about $2,500 to file the paper with the SEC. It's gonna probably cost another 10, maybe 20 grand for the lawyers. That's not a lot of money at all. Especially if we build a team and do it. Right?
Yeah. Get people to donate to it.
It's really
very good.
Simple. But here's the thing. People, our people, we love to make excuses. We love to watch and see sometimes.
Man.
So guess what? Watchers get what watchers get. Doers get what doers get. You cannot be mad when the doer gets his reward and you left out because you wanted to watch and see. There's risk on both sides. There's risk in doing, and there's a risk in watching. You take the risk of watching the doers do it, and you could have been doing it, but you didn't do it, and you just miss out.
Yeah.
So either one, you're playing a deadly game of risk, because there's risk on both sides.
Yeah.
So I'd rather take the risk in doing it and then making a mistake and maybe not getting it, than take the risk in not doing anything and then watching it being done, and then I'm like, dang, another opportunity I missed up. I missed the Bitcoin, so now I'm gonna miss something else again. See, regret is the worst type of feelings you can harbor. Regret. Oh, yeah. I don't ever want to regret anything. I want to, I don't mind making a mistake because I'll figure it out. Mistakes are good. Failing is good. That's how you win. You never win if you don't fail. You never win if you don't try. But as long as I'm out there doing, I can see where I'm making my mistakes and I can make course corrections along the way. It's called troubleshooting. And I can know zero about an industry, but I can also learn it along the way. Instead of saying, oh, I got to go to school and waste 8 years of my time trying to learn it in school, and then by the time I get out of school, some fool already built it, right?
Yep.
Or I can educate myself as I go along, trust in my competency and my skills that I have from other industries, combine them all together with this industry, have some learning curves, and figure it out. That's it.
Yeah.
You have a mind. You already have a specific, a particular set of skills that can be transferable. Use it. Use it. Figure it out. Take the time and figure it out. You're going to hit your head a couple times, but guess what? That third time you hit your head, you're going to be like, okay, now I know how to do this. Boom. Now you mastered that. Now you move on to the next problem until the job is done. A lot of people waste a lot of time because they feel like they're not qualified, or they think they got to go to school, and they get discouraged because they think the task is too great. When really all they got to do is just get their hands dirty and figure it out, and trust that you're going to figure it out. That's the key. That's the key right there. Figure it out. With the tools we got today, man, listen, you can fix any car if you got the tools, right?
Oh yeah, that's a valuable lesson.
You can fix any car as long as you got the right tools, because you can go on YouTube right now and just and they're gonna give you a step by step and walk you through the process. You got AI at your fingertips that'll tell you how to do dang near almost anything, step by step, word for word.
Yeah. Yeah, technology is something else. Yeah.
So what can't you do, man? Why is everybody waiting? Why is everybody trying to wait and see? We need to be building right now. Everybody needs to be building. I'm saying right now, we need our own crowdfunding platform. Right now. Who's going to build? Who's going to build it before I build it?
We need to start, having these
who's going to come in and help me build it?
Yeah. We need to have more conversations about this. And get this topic rolling.
Can you imagine 2% of everybody trying to crowdfund on your site?
Man. Yeah.
Can you imagine a crowdfunding where nobody can cancel your crowdfunding because you're Black?
Man.
Can you imagine the projects that we could have going on and achieve and get going? Imagine we can crowdfund for our own TikTok platform. So many things, man. Listen, man, stop waiting on somebody else to do it and you go do it.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Since the current administration was a major topic of the discussion, do you think that endorsing this current administration may be not helpful with business ventures?
I think
because I'm actually surprised that so many Black people support this current administration.
I'm not surprised that you know why I'm not surprised that we're supporting this, that Black people are supporting this current administration, because anything that's not Democrat, we're against right now. So I'm surprised that people aren't supporting this current administration. After being under 60 years of propaganda and witchcraft from the Democratic plantation, I think people are enjoying their freedom right now. Their freedom not to run over to the Republican side, but that we don't got a Democrat massa no more.
Well,
so I think anything that is non-Democrat, people are supporting. I don't think it's necessarily Trump or the Republican Party or his administration. I think the fact that it's non-Democrat, that's what they're supporting.
That's what I was telling people.
Well, I mean, history has shown that, anytime there usually is that type of administration of that particular party, there's always a economic hardship. So I was just asking that if, because how you feel about him, I respect that. That's your, just like if someone believes that, in certain religious orders, I respect that. That's your business. But to get upset to the point that saying that I'm against Black people because I don't support, it doesn't matter, what color or whatever he is. To me, he seems like he fits mental health descriptions. So I don't think that anyone with that mental capability can take you anywhere. But that's just my opinion. And I'm just saying, on a business standpoint, globally and internationally, do you really think that supporting an administration like that will hurt you in the business sector?
I don't think so, because I don't think Trump has mental health issues. I know,
because I don't support Republicans nor Democrats. I believe they're both the same bird.
They are. I agree. I don't support Republicans or Democrats. But you know what? Yeah. One of them is going to be in power, at least for right now.
Yeah.
And I'm happy right now it's not the Democrat Party.
Right, but
I'm just as critical of the Republican Party as I am of the Democratic Party. But I might be a little bit more biased toward the Republican Party right now because they're not the Democratic Party. See, we done gave so much of our blood, sweat, and tears to the Democratic Party, and they just shit on us every single time. That it's left.
We did as well with the Republican Party, and it showed with the great ancestor of Frederick Douglass when they tried to make him a martyr and sell out Black people and make him a puppet for the Republican Party.
But the Republican Party, I'm talking about of recent.
Right, but I'm just saying, that's why I said I do not agree with I'm not going to trade one colonizer for another. They're both one of the same to me. They're the same bird. That's why I
get you. But you also got to look at Trump as an outlier. Just call it what it is. Trump is not Republican. He's probably more Democrat than he is Republican.
Mm-hmm.
He's a flake. He flip-flops. He's an opportunist.
Trump is an outlier. He's an outlier who's learned the game of politics.
Mm-hmm.
Trump is
a redneck with money.
Trump is the only president that I've seen who's not afraid to do his own thing. All the other presidents, they fall in suit with their party. Trump says, bump party, this is what we're going to do.
Oh.
Trump said, bump that, I got an executive order that I'm going to use. Trump is the only president that's been abusing the executive power like he's been abusing it. There's no other president that would have had the balls or the foresight or the thought. Most of these, let's keep it above. Let me say, like, this is probably the best way you'll understand it. Okay? Trump is not on any drugs or alcohol. Most of our presidents, if not all of them, were addicted to some type of
cocaine.
Were addicted.
I thought actually that he was, and that's why he has incompetency problems from his opioid addictions.
Trump is not on any opioids. Trump doesn't drink. Trump doesn't smoke. He doesn't do any type of drug. He's at those parties sober.
Yeah, because he lost his brother. Yeah.
Trump is at these parties. He's watching you undertake the drug and the paraphernalia, but he's not touching none of it. He's the only one that been showing up to these Hollywood parties and knows exactly what's going on, and he's the soberest one in the room. Everybody else, Obama included, is under an addiction.
Mm-hmm.
They're being controlled, and they got all kind of blackmail on these people that they can't do nothing. What's up, Jordan? They can't do nothing. Trump is the only one that's not. Bill Clinton was. You see how Hillary Clinton, she was looking zonked out. Even Kamala Harris looking zonked out.
Man.
Biden, they just gave that dude a cocktail and made him just incoherent.
They found that stuff in the White House. Those Bidens. You remember that?
Yeah. Let me tell you, man. And let me tell you, the 3-letter alphabet is running everything, or was running everything, because they got everything on. They got something on everybody. But Trump was sober.
Well, I still hold my position, as I do not believe that he is for Black people in general at all. I just think that if he's doing things that benefits, it's not because he intentionally is designing it to.
Right.
If he had the capability to deport every last one of us, he would.
No, he can't.
I know he can't legally, but I'm saying if he had the ability to, he would.
Let me tell you something. YT people, they've been holding that over our head for the longest time. They keep saying they want a separate state, they want this, they want that. But the truth is, they can't live or survive without us. And they know it. They just don't want you to know that they know it. But
I do know that. That's why they put people like this whole creature.
They need us here. They need
to do their work. They need our ideas.
No, that's exactly what they need.
That's to do their work, right? They need our ideas. So I do understand that part.
They don't have a culture. No, listen. They don't have a culture without us. Their culture is our culture.
That's why they designed the NAACP. It was headed by a white male. And that is exactly what's going on with
a small hat. Yes. And they can't listen. As long as they got YT daddy controlling the other, that's what they need. Because if the moment they let us control our own destiny, we're gonna do this.
They don't want us to. They're going to do everything in their power to make sure that we don't.
Some type of manager or supervisor. See, whenever we're in a room by ourselves, you ever notice that YT people just start coming in here and they got to listen? They got to know what's going on because they're looking for a manager. They don't think that we're thinking these thoughts on our own. They're thinking that there's some YT person behind the scenes pulling the string, and they're waiting to see who's the manager in the room. They can't stand it that we don't have one. Or when we start doing things like this without one, they can't stand it.
Well, he proved it when he first came in and he knocked the general out. It's not easy to be a general at all. And especially to be
but that was a puppet general. I don't care what color he is. Yeah. The Democrats put him in power.
It has nothing to do with color. It to be at that level of a general, you have to work hard to get to that position.
But we're not in a meritocracy. We're not in a meritocracy, ma'am.
And he's not a king.
That's not really how it works. Let me tell you something. If you listen, you could be the smartest person in the room, but if you're too smart, they're not going to elevate you. What do I mean?
Precisely. That's why they started when Black people started getting college education, they started doing what? Oh, now that will require the associate's degree, now you have to have a bachelor's or master's degree because the Black people started educating themselves.
Again,
now you're overqualified.
Hold on. Again, the people that the Democrats were putting in power that were Black were not for us.
Or FBA.
They were talking
most of them were non-FBAs that they're putting in power. And the FBA that they did put in power, those were Sambos.
I want to know, that one of the generals you're talking about that he fired or whatever, is he FBA? Because I don't think any of them in the top positions are allowed to be FBA.
I don't think any of them were FBA. I don't know that for a fact.
Yeah.
Because any of them were FBA. I don't think any of them were FBA.
They have to be a tether.
Remember, Colin Powell wasn't even FBA.
Yeah, none of them. They can't. I think it's some type of written. I remember hearing this a while ago. There's some type of, they have the club that you cannot be an FBA.
A lot of the Boulets are not even FBA. A lot of the Black Greeks are not FBA.
No. And that's how they keep control.
That's exactly how they keep control. They keep using Black faces that they control with white minds. That's what they do.
And people still saying Kamala's Black and Obama's Black. They're not even from here.
You worrying about them is like, why? Why even worry about them when they're not even FBA? They're not even of the lineage. They're not for you. They don't even think. Listen, man, I had them all come in my room. All of them. All of them. African, Caribbean, they all come in my room. And a lot of them feel so comfortable because I'm not berating them. The only time I really get on their head is when they start talking too much. When they start getting arrogant and start talking crazy, then I gotta check them. But I let them speak in this room. I let them say what they want to say because I want my people to hear and pay attention to what they're saying. Most of these people that come from other countries who are non-FBA, they want to be a colonizer, and they've said it so many times. They're studying the colonizer so they can be just like him. They're coming over here getting our resources because they're mad that they can't get it popping in their homeland, so they think they can come over here and take what's not theirs. They've said it. They've admitted it. So now that we hear and we know what they're doing, now we know what game they're playing. All of them, the Colin Powells, all of them that get into a place of power, they don't think FBA. They think white or they think their country. That's it. So why are we getting mad for about some non-FBAs not getting taken out of power? We shouldn't be.
I don't feel any way about it.
Yeah,
I just have an issue with Black people.
They're not Black. They're not Black.
No. What I'm saying is just that I just have an issue, not an issue. I mean, I just know to separate myself from that is when Black people are holding up a colonizer as if they're a savior. That's where I
don't have no Trump complex like he's a savior. He's not a savior, but he's gonna get a lot of the things done that we need done, and I'm like, let him do it. Is he a savior? No. But he's right for this country right now? Yes, he is. Is he right for Black Americans right now? Yes, he is. Is he going to do everything you want him to do? No. Will he probably flip on us? Yeah. Yeah.
He flips on everyone. Yeah. In the business sector in New York,
he's probably going to flip on us. He's probably going to flip on us at some point. But
yeah, there's no one in New York that will do business with him prior to his presidential election. He literally has filed bankruptcy how many times? He's not stable. in that sector. So sitting there thinking that he knows the best moves to do economically, he can't even do that in business wise. He has burnt so many bridges in the city in where he comes from to where he's trying to establish his business in Gaza. That's the only reason why he's sitting there playing with those people over there, because he is a real estate developer.
I got you.
An opportunist.
Okay, I got you. But do you really think Trump is making all those decisions in the White House by himself?
Of course not. He has all of those people addicted to ketamine. Your Doge people that are literally helping him with these ideas of like going to Mars.
Wow.
Are you kidding?
Addicted to ketamine. Wow.
Listen.
Wow.
He has more than just those people. He let me tell you something. Trump looks at those people like they're idiots, first of all, and he knows they're idiots. He has smarter people in the background that's helping him. That whole tariff thing. Let me tell you. Hold on. Let's keep it a buck, man. Listen, a lot of the things that Trump is doing now, he was talking about. We need to get this done 20, 30 years ago in interviews.
Yep.
So you think that he didn't come? You don't think that he came in blasting like that because he literally has a chip on his shoulder because he felt like the American government tried anybody that doesn't kiss his boots, he's coming after you. So
it's not about kissing his boots. They tried to unalive him. They tried to do a witch hunt on them. They tried to do everything they can to stop this man from becoming who he was supposed to become. They tried everything. They threw.
Do you really believe that was a real shooting?
Hey, can I say this though?
Yeah.
Hey, so this is the point where I like to tell people.
If you don't, I don't know why. I don't know why, but yeah, I believe that they tried to unalive him two times. And matter of fact, they tried another. Listen, they just tried to get him again.
And he fired the doctor that saved his life when he had COVID. He lost his job. The actual physician that got him the medication that wasn't even available to anyone, he actually lost his job, and he saved him when that man was dying. So this is the type of individuals that y'all are holding up to a pedestal.
No, but they already that C-19 thing. That's already been proven that that's just a regular flu. That ain't all. That was all a conspiracy thing, and that's why Fauci is under. He's under.
Still be careful of saying that on TikTok because they it's allegedly and all. And if you mention that doctor's name, I'm telling you, I done got my life just taken down like that.
Oh yeah.
And why do you think he was pardoned?
Who pardoned him? Who pardoned him?
The current administration pardoned.
Not this administration. Not this administration.
What?
He was pardoned immediately.
What? No, that's a lie. You just now that is a lie, man. You know who pardoned him? No, ma'am. You can look this up. You know who pardoned him? Your boy Biden.
Yeah. With the auto pen.
It was not this administration that pardoned that guy. Not the Dr. F that he's talking about.
Yeah, that's who I'm specifically talking about because he was pardoned as well as those
not by Trump.
Capitol building.
Not by Trump, man. Go look it up. That's not by Trump. It was by Biden.
That lets me know where this is. All this is.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why you so. I get it, man. You don't have to like Trump, but let's not. We don't got to lie on him. Let the truth be the truth.
I respect people's decision on who they want to be, who they uphold. Just like I said, I usually don't get into political conversations nor religious conversations because of that reason.
Biden did that, man. But I'm saying, listen, we don't gotta lie on anybody. All we gotta do is say the truth. We don't gotta make up something that he didn't do, and that's a lie. He didn't do that. Biden is the one that pardoned Dr. F. He's the one. It wasn't this. You can't blame this. This administration's only been in power 4 months.
Yeah. No, it ain't been 4 months. Too much.
And look at how he turned the world upside down in that much. And look at how many people have lost money. Not just the average person.
Too much. 2 months.
Not just the average person lost money. Even his buddies lost money.
Man.
Do you think that's not why he paused those tariffs for 90 days? It wasn't because of none of us regular people. He paused that for his buddies that he wants to sit at the table with.
No, that was for a shakeup. That's what that was about. That was a calculated move.
It's called marketing manipulation. And isn't that not criminal? It actually is.
No.
Ma'am,
it's not?
Ma'am, the president can put tariffs on anybody who wants to put tariffs on and take tariffs away from anybody who want to take tariffs away from. That's totally legal.
Man.
That's totally legal and within his rights to do that. That's totally legal. He can put a tariff on China and then say tomorrow, okay, the tariff's done. He can do that.
I don't know what can be illegal about it. So far.
I get it, man. Trump is a narcissist. You know, he's rich. You know, he's probably failed more time than he's won when it comes to business. I get it. But Trump doesn't drink. Trump doesn't smoke. No. Trump is not on any type of paraphernalia. He's not addicted to any type of painkiller or anything like that. He's the only sober president that is really making decisions without a whole group or team or somebody telling now I will say this. Trump has been moving funny lately. I will admit that. There's some things that Trump is doing that I don't understand. There's some people he has close to them that I don't understand. No. And I think I know why, but I don't need to mention their name. Yeah. You know, I think there's a secret hand that runs all these presidents at some point.
Yeah.
I think Trump came in with guns blazing, and then he realized, hey man, if I don't slow down a little bit, these other people are gonna get me.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm gonna upset these other people that you know what I'm saying? So I think all presidents at some point, even Nancy Pelosi, had sense at one time. Because there's videos of Nancy Pelosi talking about how China is taking advantage of us and how we need to have a reciprocal tariff. And now Nancy Pelosi is not talking like that.
Yeah, that was back in the 90s.
So I think everybody at one point came in, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, thinking they can change the world, and then they run into a stop sign.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're seeing Trump run into a little bit of that, but he's still fighting a little bit. But he's still letting this other group kind of dictate what he's going to do. Like, do I think it's okay for him doing what he's doing, deporting certain people? Because now, let's be real. If you're an immigrant in this country, you don't need to be getting involved in our politics and inciting in anything.
No.
You by all means need to be quiet. But do I think it's okay that they get deported because they start exercising some of their freedoms that the citizens are allowed to exercise in this country? No, I think that's wrong.
Like the college students?
Yeah, the college. Yeah, I think that's wrong. I think that there's a hidden hand because it's only happening to a certain group of people that talk about a certain group of people. You know what I'm saying? It's not. It's just funny to me. That don't make no sense. Why are we putting the cape on for them?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing right there.
So
aren't they who run this place? Don't they really actually run this place? That's why he has to tap dance with them.
Well, there you go. So that's what I'm saying. Trump is by no means a savior, but I think as far as working within the parameters of what they allow him to do and what he's not allowed to do, I think he's doing a good job of that.
Yeah.
Now, he's not the end all be all, Like I said, I don't look at him like he's no Messiah or no savior. I look at him like he's Trump. And I'm noticing even the changes in Trump. Right? There's been a change in Trump. And I don't like it. But I'm trusting the Most High. And as long as so far so good, he hasn't put any policy. Key thing is policy that is against Black Americans. Let it go. But the moment he starts messing with us, we're gonna show you what we about. We're gonna show you what we about. That I'm not worried about.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about that. Listen, I don't want to live in a land of comfort if my people are enslaved.
Mm-hmm.
Is that not kind of where they're going by using the testing of being able to stop people from speaking on certain subjects, not giving people due process? And we all experience that within the Black community of just because you may wear your pants a certain way or whatever, they're going to say that you are somehow a thug or whatever, right?
But you know what though? Here's the thing. When it was happening to us, where were they at?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not
correct.
I'm not
saying that I'm geared to fight no one else's battle. But what I'm not going to
I'm not gonna fight that battle, man. They gotta hold their own nuts, and they gotta stand up for their own community and do what they gotta do. But I'm not getting involved in that. Now, when it starts happening to us, then that's when I'm involved.
Right. All I'm just saying, as a Black woman, I can't wrap my head around sitting there.
You can. You can.
I'm not gonna support his narrative or his motion, nor anyone else's. Like I said, I think they're both the same word.
Nobody's asking you to support it. We're just saying stay out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not happening to us. It's not happening to us because here's the thing. You don't want to put yourself, nobody doesn't want to put themselves on the island by themselves. You need your people. You need your people. You need your lineage. Side with your lineage. Just like they need to side with their lineage, we need to side with ours.
Well, I was told today that if I don't support him, that I'm against y'all.
That's just.
Well, let me clarify that. Yeah, basically what I'm saying is just like what he's saying is either stay out of it or support it, because if you're not supporting it, then you're working against us because he's giving us what we want right now. You know what I'm saying? Right. So if you keep going against it.
And understand, we're not one person, a few people who are siding against Trump is not going to hurt us. But we're not, it's not, it's like you being against Trump is not going to change anything is what I'm trying to say. Anybody being against Trump, only against Trump, is not going to hurt anything.
Can I give my input?
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so I feel like, I'm not trying to be like Mr. Doom over here, but I feel like it doesn't matter which president we have, due to the fact of the matter is if it's Democrat, Republican, I feel like we're still controlled under one, which I won't say because, I don't want to get
right. And we all know that, and we all agree with that, sir. We're not saying anything, but we do have somebody who is pushing the line.
For sure. No, I do agree with Trump.
On that line. And I think he knows where the out of bounds is. So he's getting as close as he can to the out of bounds without being out of bounds.
Yeah, exactly. I do see that. So, yeah. And I do respect Trump for doing what no other people have the balls to do. So
Right. And you got to respect it for that. And that's all I'm saying. Trump is not nobody's savior. He's not nobody's Messiah. Okay.
Right.
He's not. But is he walking the line where he can get himself taken out the game? Yeah, he's straddling that fence. But I think he's figured out where he can go and where he can't go, and he's doing it well.
Right.
That's what I believe. So again, but again, me rooting against him is stupid.
No, and I get that. I feel like, it's just the people.
Against any president of the United States, and I'm in the United States.
Exactly. No, yeah, and I so too. But it's the division that people have, and I feel like media has a certain play to do with it. Causing division amongst one another, and I feel like that should stop within us, because I feel like once we find out our potential and once we unite, that would change everything. And
Yeah, but I'm not united with everybody. I'm united with my people and my lineage. That's what I'm uniting with, because everybody don't agree with me. We still got the Kyle Rittenhouses, the Daniel Pennies out there, and now they're trying to railroad the Carmelo Anthony's out there. I can't side with anybody like that.
Nah, yeah, for sure. I could get with that too.
Side with my lineage, and until people adopt the Black consciousness that we have, then we can side with them.
One thing about that is perspective, and I do understand, your perspective as well. And even myself, I am contradicted within my own, because I am Hispanic. I'm from the Bronx and all, so I'm really close to my Hispanic ties. But
I can't unite with. Listen, I can respect some Hispanics.
Right.
But I cannot unite with the racism and the anti-Blackness that's in that community, that's known in that community, and say I want to ally with that.
Right. No, exactly. I'm Dominican myself.
There are certain situations where I can say we can agree with what we can agree on, but when we disagree, that's where I go on my side and you go to your side.
No, right. And even I do agree with you on that. Like in my culture, we do have, I'm Dominican and Puerto Rican, but more so in the Dominican side.
Oh, wow. So you're double confused. If you're Dominican and Puerto Rican, you're double confused.
Nah, I feel like I have a strong base of where I'm from and where I'm at.
African on both sides, and you're double confused.
Yeah, right. But I do accept the fact that I am, I do have African lineage. I'm brown skinned, and I even do have Arabian lineage, where some Arabic people confuse me as being their own. But I feel like when I speak with other Dominicans and they try to erase that Black lineage and heritage, I try to educate them on that, because it's just that's just wrong. And I feel like it's just blatant ignorance that was passed down from the previous generation that we got to break off. And it's just that, yeah. So I'm on the same type of timing that you're on when it comes to that. But
so yeah, man, we got a long ways to go. There is no Black and brown coalition, at least not no more, or there never was really.
Never was.
It's always been one-sided. It's always been we show up for them, but they don't show up for us. So we're just like cool. Hey, listen, everybody do their own thing. Y'all do what y'all do. We gonna do what we do. If there's an interest that we both align with, cool. But that's it.
Right. No, that's true.
That's it.
True. And I feel like, was it true that said with the Black History Month that forget that, celebrate it every day? I do believe in that too. Due to the fact of the matter is that I feel like if we focus, or we put this agenda about Black History Month being the only month of February, then we're just focusing more on emotional trauma, and we're trying to bring up the fact that, hey, look, guys, the Black culture only has February to remember y'all, but in terms of a culture and us being alive,
we're gonna take Black History Month. We're gonna take every other 12 months, and we're gonna
exactly
Black American culture.
Exactly,
and it's American history.
Exactly,
it's American. Yeah, it's the real. And see, when we say American, we understand the true American. What a true American is, and a true American is us.
Exactly.
The copper-colored races here. It's us. So anybody else want to think they're American and they're not part of the copper-colored races, go knock yourself out. But when we celebrate it with the true understanding of who we really are.
We got to even go deeper, I feel like, if we want to go to that understanding, because if we really want to go ancient, the biblical Bible itself, the Ethiopian, the oldest Bible in the world, described Jesus as being Black. Even Vladimir Putin, president of Russia, confirmed Jesus Christ being Black. So I feel like, they try to suppress our history and the history of the black. And again, like I would say, they try to revert it back to only having 1 month. But like I said, we're alive, we're breathing, we're living proof at the moment. So even today, what's today? April 18th, I believe, 19th. This is our history, even up to today, right now. So within the
let me be clear, right? And I mean no disrespect when I say this, brother. But I got to be clear. It's our history, my lineage's history is what we're talking about. You have your own holidays, you have your own parades, you have your own homeland. But this here, America, belongs to us.
I was born in America, so I consider myself American.
I got you, and that's cool. But born here or not, you're an immigrant. 14th Amendment was never for anybody else but my people. And Trump made that clear, and I'm glad he said it like that. And I get it. A lot of immigrants here, a lot of people who were anchored here, and they grew up in our culture and around us, and they often have that camaraderie with us. But the truth of the matter is, at the end of the day, we don't have any other homeland or any other allegiance but here. Got them up out of there. That's what happens when you start speaking that truth. They all want to be us until we let them know the truth.
Man, right? Man, that's a textbook.
Right? And then they get mad because it's the truth.
Man.
You can consider yourself an American all you want to, but an American is us, not you.
We
yes here at best, and as long as you act accordingly, cool.
Yeah. We done living them lies.
But we not living the lie.
Man.
We got to keep it a bean right now.
Do you think it's possibly because they really don't understand the history of where the 14th Amendment came from?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And again, they're just moving off of ways that benefit them, and they're not, and again, it's like they're in what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? Cognitive dissonance.
Major.
They're stuck in cognitive dissonance because they've been here for so long. This is all they know. And they even know when they go back to their homeland, they're not accepted over there because they've been over here. They're in a limbo of dual allegiance. I either ride with my people over here, but they're not really going to 100% accept me, or I just ride with the Americans over here. But then guess what? They're not going to really 100% accept you either, brother. And they're looking for that acceptance because they're in between.
Well, I have a question, Too Much, and also everyone else on the panel. Like with the blacks that deny that there was slavery, then how do they understand the 14th Amendment? Because the 14th Amendment was made post-slavery.
Mm-hmm. The 14th Amendment was made after slavery. Yeah. Okay. The people who say they were never enslaved, they're just in denial too.
Yeah, I don't know anybody that's actually saying that they're all of us weren't.
And the American Indians who act like they're still fighting and they're in denial too, because again, YT can't take over a country unless they took it.
Yeah.
YT supremacy is a global. They dominate the world. They just don't dominate the U.S. They dominate the world. YT supremacy does, and we got to come to terms with that. That's just the truth. That doesn't mean they're superior physically, mentally, spiritually, but it does mean they dominate the world as of right now, and it's their time. It's their time. Everybody gets a chance. Everybody gets a chance to do what to dominate. We dominated. We did.
And we
for centuries, for thousands and thousands and thousands, and somewhere down the line we got too cocky, or we we didn't properly prepare, or we lost the vision and foresight that something could happen to us, or whatever, and we gave up the power.
We got played by our own skin folk.
Yeah, and now we're struggling to get to some type of justice for everybody type of mentality.
I'm pretty sure you understand about the Moors selling us out.
Oh, yeah,
that's how we got.
I don't trust no Moors. I don't trust no Moors.
That's how we got.
We gave the Moors the game. They didn't get the Moors didn't have the game until they got it from us.
Yeah,
that's a myth to even think that they just all of a sudden was this smart ancient Negro race from Africa. That no. We were the ones that were doing everything, and they kept traveling over here and getting the game and using it over there.
Because if you look up all our old all the WARs that was fighting, we were some warriors. You know what I'm saying? It was no way possible somebody could have came here and took it over like a lot of people think.
Well, what happened was, I don't know why we didn't develop I don't know. Listen, we were warriors, but we were not the warrior. We were not the warriors like we think we were the warriors. We were the warriors that kicked butt because we were physically stronger. We were physically faster. We had the medical. We had all that, but for some reason we didn't want to develop. We didn't use our brain power to develop weapon WMAs. I'll just say it like that. We didn't use our brain power for that. We were meek people. We were very hospitable, and we enjoyed helping other people out more.
Yeah.
We were more on that side.
We're not naturally.
Yeah.
We
had integrity. We weren't liars, right? We weren't used to people lying to us.
Mm-hmm.
We believed that everybody was doing square business all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't realize that people talk with double tongues until those double tongued people came over here. And who helped those double tongued people? The Moors.
Mm-hmm.
The Moors saved them twice.
Yeah.
And some of us believe the Moors even created them. Them to come against us one day.
That's the one thing that I'm trying to find out about right now, because recently I just found out about all those test tube babies.
Yeah.
For the natives and the YTs.
Yeah.
That's how the population got up.
Yeah. So it's like at the end of the day, man, listen, man. We just gotta love ourselves, man. We can't worry about loving the world like we used to.
Yeah.
We can't worry about feeding the world like we used to. We gave Africa corn. We gave people the game. And then what they do, once we give it to them, they spit on us.
Mm-hmm. Every time.
We have to learn to gatekeep and put a fence around and keep to ourselves and do what we're supposed to do. That's what we got to learn how to do. We can't mess around with everybody. We can only mess around with ourselves.
Yeah.
That's it.
I appreciate you hanging in there. Is it Aisha? Ashley.
No, thank you.
Yeah, because we need to have this dialect like this. You know what I'm saying? We need to get our communication up. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just being.
We need to lock ourselves in a room and have these hard conversations and go back and forth. And you come with your game, I come with my game. You stand on business, I stand on business, and then we come out the room better for it. We may not have changed each other's mind, but we come out better for it, and we come out with a better understanding and knowledge, and then we build that closeness that we need. Because this is how we get on code. Yeah. Being on code is not about agreeing with everything. Being on code is about being on code.
Because I'm all about my people. I'm not into all the other stuff. Always been. We just got to be more comfortable with being on code.
Yeah, be on code. Just stay on code, man. Listen, you don't have to like it all the time. You don't have to understand. As long as it's not affecting your money, as long as it's not affecting your livelihood, get on code with your people.
Everybody else do it.
Get on.
I will.
the YT get on cold quick. You see Carmelo Anthony, they get on cold quick.
Man. And when I lived in
We
LA,
need to be just like that. We need to be like, you know what? I'm beefing with you right now. I don't like what you said right now, but you know what? I'm on cold.
I don't think I seen nobody more quicker, faster, harder get on code than when I was in LA. When I lived out there with the Mexicans, how they get on code, quick on you. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter what you got going on. You know what I'm saying? And I learned so much from them, and I try to utilize that in my day-to-day life. You know what I'm saying? It's very valuable. I went through a lot out there with that.
Man, they get on cold quick. That's what I'm saying, man. Black and brown. There's no black and brown coalition.
Man, that's the biggest. I don't even know what that's the biggest.
With anti-black hatred in your community. That your abuela is going to be looking at me funny if I come over. No, man, no. Listen, if you don't have that black consciousness that liberates us all, we can't break bread.
And you know how it is when we go in their stores. I remember in high school when we went on a field trip out there to downtown to the garment district. Do you know they wouldn't even let us in the store? I'm like, wow. That was my first time really because, I'm from Dago. So, we kind of more, it's a different temperature out here. But it's getting like LA. It's not nowhere near like LA, but it's getting, you know what I'm saying? You got the ones that moved down here changing the game. But
yeah, I was in a Hispanic restaurant. Me and my wife was in a Hispanic restaurant, brother. And we were waiting in line. And these fools was cutting the line.
Oh, yeah.
These fools act like we wasn't even standing in line and just decided to come from outside and just stand right in front of us and order their food before us.
Man, I just did the same thing.
And then have nerve to hold the line up and take their time. And I'm like, man, we already let y'all cut. Man. Now y'all gonna do this? And I'm looking at the owners, and they're just not even. They're acting like we're not even there. So me and my wife said, we don't got to even spend our money here.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Stay on code. Right now, you're gonna get a lot of heat.
Yeah, I'm like, man, we don't even got to spend our money here. Like, man, let me retract my dollars. I walked right out. I looked at everybody like they was crazy, and I walked the heck up out of there, and we went somewhere else and grabbed some food to eat.
Yeah.
This whole shit is gotten serious. I'm telling you, it's gotten serious. You guys have brought out the truth.
This our brother King
right now over here, they're attacking my people. And the problem that you have with that black and brown idiots, we have over here with the Moroccan people and all those other colored people. They are getting on code against my people over here. But I don't mind. I don't mind. Let them do it. That's what the Most High said that they were going to do. We know what's coming. We know what's going to happen. Take that step back out of that multicultural nonsense, that Kamala Harris, that Barack Obama nonsense. Take that step back and stay on code, no matter what. You'll see what's going to happen. This is real talk. We are a small, how do you say that? Community over here in Nederland. We from Suriname. Even my own people, some of them are brainwashed. They can take over there in that multicultural nonsense. Those who understand what I'm talking about, take that step back and watch what's going to happen to them. Right now, they think that they are going to win. I know what's coming. I know what's coming. So what you have to do, stay on code. Don't interfere in nothing of them. I don't have to tell you because I've learned a lot from you. It's serious right now. It's really that serious. That president that you have right now is doing a good job. He's doing a very good job. They think that technology is a solution. No. Those Democrats in your country and those Democrats over here, They're trying to talk like how you are talking right now, like they are fixing everything, that they are the ones that are not racist. But they are the real racist, not racist. But they are the real racist people. Let them get on code so that the whole world can see who they are. I don't worry about them. I'm not going to say anything anymore. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, man.
All praise to the Most High.
All praise to the Most High. Yeah, we got the same thing going on, man, and it's pretty similar and it's pretty crazy. So all we got to do is let the Democrats crash and burn, man. They're gonna crash out. Let them crash out. Let them crash out.
Jasmine already resigning.
Oh,
you heard about that?
Crockett, is she?
Oh boy, she said it. I ain't seen the official, but she said it. Ooh wee. You know, oh my God, she makes her women look so bad. Oh my God,
man, I'm tired of her sister girl thing, man. I really am. I'm tired of it, man. We gonna pick cotton. We gonna be farmers, girl. If you don't shut your mouth,
man. They say, man.
That playbook is played out.
I mean, I feel so uncomfortable when she said that. I mean, oh man.
Man, I'm just, I'm done with these people, man. I'm done with these people, man, trying to come over here and play that emotions, that wear my emotions on my sleeve game and appeal to the heart and make us dumb us all down to the 17% of the, I'm done with that, man. I'm done with that. Listen, Black Americans are multifaceted people, man. Don't try to box us in.
Man,
don't try to box.
Hey, that heat came for her so cold, so quick and heavy on her. You know what I'm saying? She should have shut her mouth up. You know what I'm saying? Talking about she been collecting her grandma's Social Security for the last 12 years, allegedly. What they saying?
Who, Jasmine Crockett?
Yeah.
Man, yeah. I believe it, man. Shame on her. Shame on her.
Grandma been, going on, how they say, going up and yonder.
I see 47 people over here. Tap the screen. Support too much. Tap the screen. Let's go to 10,000.
Please support the screen. I'm not going to be on too much longer, y'all. I'm about to get some sleep. It's about to be 12 minutes.
Yeah, I'm supposed to have been going to sleep now.
Yeah, I was supposed to have been off like an hour ago. Back when you were saying you was about to go, that's when I was really about to go. Man. But I just enjoyed talking to Ashley. I really did enjoy conversating with her. I really did enjoy conversating with you. I appreciate it, Lenny. I know we got some people that probably sleep on the panel now.
I'm following Ashley right now, and Lenny, I'm going to follow him also.
Yeah, this is our brother. Our brother King Vincent Pronka. He's from the Suriname. He's a brother. He's a copper-colored. Okay, he's one of us. He's not of our lineage, but he's of the Americas, and he has the Black consciousness. That's the most important thing. I keep telling y'all, we can't work with people who don't have the same consciousness or understand the culture of what we're trying to do and how we create things. This brother gets it. He understands it. He's tapped into the grassroots media, to our grassroots media, so he fully understands what's going on. So y'all show this brother some love. He has an accent. He's not Black American, but he's of the copper colored races here in the Americas. That's what I'm saying. And we could rock with our Caribbean brothers if they talk like our brother King Vincent.
Yeah, not get on that.
Our Caribbean, because let's keep it a buck. Our Caribbean brothers, they're closer to us than really Africans are. Let's keep it a buck.
They brainwash my people, man.
But the problem is the brainwashing is just man. They did a number on them Caribbeans, man.
Yeah.
They did a number. And listen, don't hate the player, hate the game. Don't hate us. Help us. Don't hate us. Come over here and be our ally, be our true ally. Don't be a step and fetch.
You know what it is? As long as you stay positive, just spread out the positive information, the truth. The truth will always win from the lies, no matter what. Stay positive. Don't get angry at these people because they suffer from a pathological disorder. And pathological disorder, that's when you believe in lies. That's the psychological explanation about this word.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. Don't get angry at these people because they are finished. They're going to spread lies again, trying to save themselves, but they will see that everybody looks through them. Everybody can see that they are liars. So don't worry about them. Don't get angry at them anymore. Just treat them like they are patients from some kind of a hospital, because it's a pathological disorder that they are suffering from, and we have to make sure that the world sees that, and the world will cure that for them or exclude them. Stay positive.
That's it.
I agree, and I also agree with the host too much. And I grew up with people from St. Vincent, and they never said that they were African. They always said they were West Indies. So, and I always respected that about them.
Oh,
And
I'm from Suriname, but don't make no mistake with people from Suriname, because you have also some evil people among my people. I've met them. Yesterday they were in my life using bad words about you people. But your sisters and brothers, put them in their place. So not every skin folk is kin folk, like you said.
That's right.
agree.
That's right. And it's just
Be careful with them.
it's just disheartening that we got we have to battle so many people. So we're up against, it's not really flesh and blood we're dealing with. We're dealing with, propaganda, witchcraft, principalities, powers, all these wickedness in these high places that are controlling the minds of people that should know better than to go against us. They should be more applauding us for what we're doing, championing us for what we're doing, and falling in suit and in code and in sync. And that's how, let me tell you what Jesus said. When they asked him, your mother and your brothers are waiting for you. They want you to come, Jesus. And Jesus said, who's my mother? Who's my brother? But those that do the will of God. So those who are doing the work with us, that's who we can say was our brothers and sisters. But those who are working against us, whether they're family members or not, we can't say they're with us. We can't say we're brothers and sisters to them. If you're working against us, you can't be one of us. So the only way you can be included in this brotherhood is you have to be working with us. You have to have the mindset that we have. You have to understand what we understand. And you have to help and do the work. You cannot sit on the sidelines and then expect us to come and rush and save you. Those days are over. We're not doing that anymore. You either be a part of the big picture, or we got to delineate and separate ourselves, because we can't bring you in and you start infesting this Pan-African movement thing into our lineage that we don't harm. You can't keep saying y'all don't deserve reparation and then feed into the stereotypes that black people are lazy and we don't want to work hard and we just want all that stuff. We can't do that. You can't steal the way we talk, the way we walk, and then try to act like you created it all and it's really you. You pay homage to whom homage is due. You show respect. Just like we would show respect if we was in your country, you definitely show respect if you're in our country.
That's my biggest thing. I can't understand how people can go to a whole nother country and not respect the people. You know what I mean? It's just mind blowing. I just can't understand that on no level.
I agree, because I don't, I don't go on anybody's panel that's from another country and tell them what they are or that they're wrong for whatever that it is that they believe in. And so I really don't understand the rhetoric of other people telling us who we are. That's where I have an issue, and I draw the line with that. And I would like to say too that I appreciate this live, and I appreciate all of you for being able to just like converse with you and being able to have a mature conversation and agree and disagree.
Yeah, we're gonna do it in a respectful way. We're not gonna denigrate our sister because you believe one thing and we believe another thing. We're gonna try to come to understanding and work out where we do agree on and then where we don't agree on. And then if again, nobody's here to change your mind on anything. That's for your mind. It belongs to you. You decide if you want to change your mind or not. It's not us. All we can do is give you information, and all you can do is give us information. And we're exchanging these ideas. Like I said, nobody can kick you out the lineage because you don't agree with us. Nobody can do that. You're part of the lineage. There's 43 million of us in this country, and we don't all think the same. What we can agree on is we're all under heavy propaganda and witchcraft. And we need to come out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to come out of it. That's what we can read. And I keep and I'm always going to preach, turn that television off. Because that's where it's coming from. It's coming from the psyop. The psychological warfare is coming from that dang television.
I think I stopped 3 years ago, maybe longer.
I stopped watching TV 6 years ago. When I started realizing, listen, the moment I started traveling to other countries, my mind became free. That's how it started for me. When I started traveling and going on my little walkabout, I had a situation where they told me, "Hey, get your affairs in order. We're gonna do this. You might not make it. You might not make it." And guess what? I made it.
Could you repeat that because some noise?
Yeah, hold on. You're a little loud in the background. Just make sure you're not on a hot mic. I almost lost my life. I almost was unalived. I had to get some major surgery done, and they told me, "Hey, man, you got a 60% chance this is going to work." And I just trusted the Most High. I said, "Man, if this is how it's supposed to be," and I got so skinny, people thought I was smoking crack. They thought I was.
I've been through the same, man.
So I came out on the other end good after the surgery. The surgery was successful. It was good. And I just got a new hold on life. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to stay, I'm going to travel.
You look good, man.
And I'm going to go. And when I started seeing the world and I turned that TV off, I started realizing the beliefs and the political views that I used to have, I don't have anymore. And I started to wake up from the propaganda and witchcraft I started to realize what was happening to me. And I started doing the research. Mm-hmm. I started communing with the ancestors. I started meditating. I started praying. And I started hearing things. I started seeing things. Mm-hmm. And things just started becoming more clear. And I knew that, hey, the path I was on before, that was never my path. This is my path.
Yes.
And I just started to accept the calling. The Bible says many are called, but few are chosen. I just started to accept my calling.
I can see it in you.
I just said, you know what? I'm not going to fight it anymore. I'm going to accept it. I'm a righteous person. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do none of that stuff, man.
Yeah.
I don't have any skeletons in my closet.
Same here.
I just want to do for my people. That's all I want.
Yeah.
That's all I want. I'm okay with them investigating me. I'm okay with everything. I'm okay with my real name. I'm not afraid of being doxxed. I'm not afraid of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fear anything. I don't fear being unalived. I don't care. Mm-hmm. As long as I do what I'm supposed to do, and I stand on business when I need to stand on business, and if I get taken out for standing on business, so be it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
can't live scared.
Listen, I'm a man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't have to lie to you. If you're a man, see, one thing I like about being, see, if you're a man, I don't fear you enough that I got to tell you no lies.
Yeah.
I had my man in the mirror moment already. I've accepted my strengths and my weaknesses. So you can't break me down. I already broke me down and built myself back up, bigger, stronger, better than ever. And I did this before 6 years ago, by the way. But I still had some more propaganda and witchcraft I need to come out of.
Mm-hmm.
But I had that man in the mirror moment long time ago. You know, matter of fact, growing up in my household, you know, my dad had 100% integrity, 100% character. If I needed character integrity, I just need to look at my dad. My dad was the epitome of that. He didn't lie.
I want to say something about that witchcraft. This is what has happened. 2014, all these colonizers were convicted for a crime against humanity. But what they had done back in those days in the Americas, they got convicted in 2014. The United Nations gave them 10 years, a decade, to fix everything with our people and our people with them. Okay, those people who represented us in those years from 2014 till 31st of December 2024, those people were filling up their pockets thinking we're going to repeat this because they have been repeating this for more than 55 decades. And they thought in 2025 they could repeat that same ritual. It's witchcraft, it's voodoo, it's winticultuur, it's bonu. Those last words are from my country, explaining the word voodoo. And what is happening right now, because I told them that their time ended on the 31st of December 2024. It's 2025. Every diabolical ritual that they were doing and thought they could repeat it in 2025, in the next decades or hundreds of years that are coming, it ain't going to work. It's broken. That's why I crown myself for my people. You know, I never asked anyone for permission, no colonizer, no Asian, no Hindustani, no African. I don't ask these people for permission to do what I'm doing, what I have learned from you guys. You know, you're the blueprint. Never forget that. Thanks to you, I can speak like how I'm speaking. Because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't know the things that I know. In my life, you can see that people are very uncomfortable what I'm saying because I'm speaking truth. And thanks to you guys, I can speak the truth. Also, of course, the things that I have been through in life, seeing that they are planting things in my cases here in Nederland, the authorities, they are scared. And that's a good thing. When they are scared, they are struggling with the lies in their mind because those lies are being confronted by the facts that they have kept hidden, that they didn't want to talk about, that they didn't want to put in the school curriculum. Now these facts are coming out. I've heard yesterday that there's someone, a brother of you, he is successful right now to get the truth in the school curriculum, get rid of those old lies. So you are the blueprint. If it comes in the school curriculum in your country, I bet you that in Europe and in South America it will happen also. Everything that happens in the United States, a few years later, it will happen in Europe. It will happen in the Caribbean. It will happen in South America. And the rest of the world has to accept it. North America, South America, Central America, and the Caribbean is one.
That's true.
They dropped a lot of foreigners on our lands.
Yeah, every government is emulating what's going on. You know, like South Africa, they learned apartheid from watching America, from studying America. So you got to understand, everybody is watching us, how we do it, so they can figure it out and learn it and then perfect it. They're watching our successes and our failures, and they're trying to perfect that system that we have here over there.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. But listen up, man. I got to get some sleep.
Yeah, go sleep, man. I'm gonna go too because I just woke up.
Yeah.
People, I wish you a very good night's sleep. Go take your rest. Take your rest as long as you will.
Yeah.
And I will see you back too much. I will see you back tonight. One Ashley, I will follow you. I'm following you right now. Everybody, I wish you all a good day. Goodbye.
Yeah, take
All
care.
right now.
Hey, y'all have a good night, man. I rock with everybody on this panel, man. We all part of the lineage. We need to have more conversations. We need to understand that the code is the leader. We don't have a leader, but the code is the leader. And we have something called motion. I say it all the time. The code is the leader, but whoever has the ball, it's not about ego. Whoever has the ball, whoever has the motion, we rally behind the person with the motion and we protect that person and make sure they reach the finish line. That's how we move. The moment we start saying, I'm a leader, I'm this, I'm that, you're just putting a target on your back. Don't ever do it. Understand, we don't have a leader. Our leader is the code, and whoever got the ball, whoever got the motion, we just back them up. That's how we move. You got that?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all have a good night, man. Y'all take care.
All right, Ashley, I
Thank
sent you
you.
that. I
Appreciate
sent you that follow
appreciate
request.
all of you.
I love everybody sincerely, man. Y'all my people. All right. Y'all
Yeah,
be
for sure.
Take care.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.